Coming up on this week's eFIXX TV, we're tickled pink by Darren Crannis from the ECA, as well as posing some questions out there in the field that maybe we even get wrong. When I say we, I mean actually Rick gets wrong, because as I look at this consumer unit here, there's some really interesting questions that we're going to pull out of this show tonight. We've got mineral insulated cables, we've got steel conduit, and this wonderful consumer unit here. But should it be here? Also joining us on the show tonight, can we class him as a guest, as now he's part of the eFIXX team? We've got Joe Hammond joining us, and there's no better site, not Joe, but there's no better site than a solar array like here at Line Association. Did I mention I've recently had solar installed at my own property? And if you want to check out the video in the first in the series, jump over to our green channel, eFIXX Energy, where you'll see where I've used an interesting place to locate my battery and inverter. Let's see who's in here. I'm expecting to catch up with Joe. He's probably replacing Rick in the eating, okay? Well, we can't see him anyhow, but you will see him in a few moments when we go live on eFIXX TV. And it was quite strange, wasn't it, when I walked into the studios? I think people have got a whiff outside. I was talking about my solar array and battery storage, and the whole building evacuated. But you haven't evacuated because you're joining us here on the live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you very much if you are joining us live. However, if you're also joining us on catch up, in both cases, your comments are super valuable to us. If you're watching it live, it means you've got a great chance of appearing in the register at the end of the show. However, if you're watching on catch up, some of these comments may drive future live streams that we do, Gordon.
It would, yes. And thank you to all the people also tuning in on Facebook. We sometimes forget about the people over there, but we have just passed 300,000 followers on Facebook, actually. So
that sounds like quite a large number.
Just one thing, please don't send us any more CVs. We're not recruiting electricians. So there you go. So.
No, we're not, okay. We've got a couple of world-class quality electricians in the room, okay. And if we look into the green room, we can see who's with us today. We've got, there we have, we've got Darren Crannis from the ECA. You might notice him, he's not wearing the, looks pink to me, but that's actually Joe in that pink top, isn't it? Next to him in pink, as always, is Darren, and next to him is he a guest or is he part of the team? Where do we throw him in? He's in his probationary period.
Yeah, we're hired help, we'll call it, Gary.
Hired help.
Transition to full team membership.
So half a guest in the form of Joe 3PO, which is the third Joe in the team. So they'll be joining us in a few minutes. Okay, but we've been super busy. But before we get to how busy we've been, I'd personally like to thank the people that help support these live streams coming out fortnightly on Facebook and on YouTube for the 300,000 people following us over there. We've got the great people at the Lasico Group, our headline sponsors, people who give us things such as Lasico Lighting, which were our guests last time out on the stream, as well as Sync EV. So
yes,
Sync EV, yeah.
Oh,
yes, fantastic. We've had a lot of play around with those. And also our good friends at Luden Palazzoli and Doncaster Cables. And I'm not going to throw you under there, because if you can't remember three things, Gordon, then who can?
It's a stretch sometimes, Gary. It's a stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've been out on the road, haven't we, mate?
Yeah, well, yes, we have. Well, been all over the place.
Did you come?
No, because I've been away.
No.
I didn't go to Screwfix Live.
No, because it's outside of the Yorkshire border, wasn't it? And we mentioned that last time, didn't we?
Managed to get to Portugal, though.
You managed to get to Portugal, okay. Maybe.
Stay tuned for that video.
Yeah, maybe they've not got immigration problems. I mean, it was like Spain back in the 80s, where anyone could just turn up and fetch.
They don't have an
around.
extradition agreement, is that what you suggest?
Maybe not now. We're not. Well, are we in Europe or are we not? We're not in the Union. Okay, we're in the Europe itself. Right, we're floating around a bit. So why were we down in Farnborough?
You're down for Screwfix Live.
Yeah, we were.
And we've got a fantastic segment coming up from Screwfix Live. Obviously, the team like to wander around, find out some latest technology, some new stuff, what's going on, things like that. And yeah, they didn't disappoint this time.
No, there's our first challenge. Maybe this is something we're going to spread into. Remember that other thing that had a similar set to us and a similar leaderboard? They used to do specials where they used to do challenges, didn't they? I don't think they really caught on. I imagine if we do a challenge, I imagine we can get it to catch on. So later on, we have our first eFIXX challenge, where we've obviously got the boys down at Screwfix Live, where we were there with the Lasico Group as well, weren't they? Our headline sponsors.
Yes, we were, yeah. So we've spent far too much time with Lasico over the last couple of weeks.
What makes you say that?
Well, they were on the live stream the week before, down at Screwfix Live. We also had the 30 Under 30 Awards event, and there's some nice pictures there from the event. I think we've got a little video as well. We're showing that later on.
No, I think we're showing it now. Yeah, so let's bang on the video.
Have a look, who's on the winning.
obviously when a camera goes off, you shut your eyes.
Yeah.
I think there was one good photograph. Anyone wants to delve back into that collection, there was one where you actually looked reasonably good. That wasn't all 30, about 22 of them, was it there?
Yeah, 22 of them, yeah. And some great stories. Great to meet, obviously put faces to names in real life. Obviously, we live in a virtual world most of the time. But yeah, we had a big night out. It was a big night out as well. Celebrated there. Yeah, made some good friends down there, and hopefully we'll be following up some of those journeys on the channel. And soon we will be opening the entries for the 2024 30 under 30 award winners as well.
So how do you actually win an award? What's the key thing to winning an award?
The key, Gary, and a lot of people forget this. People say, I never win awards.
Okay.
And I say, why don't you win awards? Because they don't enter.
Okay. And you can enter yourself, which is lovely. Okay, slightly different process maybe on the validation of your entry, but don't let that put you off. Or you can obviously be nominated by your boss, maybe a person that you're working with, maybe a client. Yeah, okay, can nominate you as well. There is no limit. The only restricting factor to being nominated is what, Gordon?
Is actually entering and getting on there. And you have to be under 30. And
Okay,
the clue
good.
is in the name. I thought that was so obvious it was in the name, but no, you're right, actually, right to bring it up, because some people do ask.
Yeah. One year we had somebody who was 60.
Yeah.
He nominated himself twice, obviously, to try and get in, to win an award.
So that'll be coming up. Some great stories there, some great things going on there as well. But while we're down there as well, actually, there was a reunion took place. We brought in some special guests.
Reunion?
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you have a do and obviously put on a little bit of a soiree in the evening, often there is some celebrities turn up to validate that thing, didn't it? And we had our very own. Should we bring them back in the day? So what they used to look like back in the day?
There you go. That's them now. Well, that's before they get there. This is Right Said Fred. We're back for one night. If you want to remember what they look like, there you go. That was them back in the day.
Yeah.
With a Deeply Dippy, I think was some of the song went along. I'm not going to try and sing it at all. But,
if you put the original one there, that's what they look like now. They've not aged too bad, I don't think. Yeah,
No,
I don't
doing
think
all right.
they've covered the ground quite well. Still a very close relationship, I'd imagine, between the pair of them. That was one thing that we did get from the original group, so that's good. It's always nice to see.
these people coming back.
No, we can firmly say as well, no hair transplant went on there either. They've left their looks as they were in the day.
A bit more facial hair, I'd suggest now, Gary. And if anyone else can remember a Right Said Fred song, just put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Well, yeah, by putting it in the
remember
comments,
the one.
so you get yourself in the register, won't you?
You'll get yourself in the register.
I don't think there's a huge catalogue to go through in their songs. Somebody will tell me they've done 12 albums now, but I don't think there is.
No, I think it's a bit of a one-hit wonder.
Well, I think they had a couple of similar hits on the same tune, so that was
So
all
we'll
good.
see how many Right Said Fred characters, remembers, people got in the comments.
Well, yeah, okay. And also, you know, if we turn over to the post room, so if we can see Joe in the post room over here. So,
Someone's mentioned
so,
11 weeks and still no prize. So
well, I think
we have been out a lot actually recently. So we've got another week of outness next week and the week after. Just to put a few things up. Yeah, we're down to London next week, and the week after we're down at we're back at Stoller and Storage. If anyone's going there, make sure to say hello. But we'll come back to that a little bit later.
But obviously, the post room there. Just go back to the post room. You know, we've talked all through that. Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Guy.
Yeah, you brought your microphone in, and you're talking on your mic. You brought it in.
I am indeed. I actually might have remembered to do that for once. So
Okay. Talking of remembering stuff, obviously, can people win stuff this evening?
They can. I think there's a GT time, and we also have a Vic versus Joe's game coming up. So there might be a prize for that. We'll have to see later in the show.
Okay. Well, what worries me is that there is no Rick.
Where's
was
Rick?
it the loser leaves? Was it loser leaves town sort of competition? Was it? Obviously, when they had that. So
he's on obviously Wednesday night's class now with his new college course, where he's progressed on from takeaways and that he's trying to cook more of his own food now.
Okay, yeah.
So he's doing an evening class in cookery, and the theme this week's a little bit of Italian there. I've got a bit of a wood-fired oven in the background. I don't think they're quite progressing to pizza yet. Looks like they're doing salmon or something tonight there with one of the members of Right Said Fred.
Yeah, I can say, was there a third member? Because he looks like he's there in the. So yeah, look, he's a spit for it. So Rick's not with us tonight because he's on a cookery course, trying to level up his cookery, which is fantastic. And he's not going to be with us much at all now, is he? So he did
On Wednesdays.
Yeah, on Wednesdays.
Apart from
So somebody already applied for his job on TikTok. Can I do? I've got these skill set and sent in their application via
It's funny
TikTok.
because that's someone else on Facebook as well, Kevin. Said, yeah.
Can I have Rick's job?
Yeah.
It looks like the best job in the world. All he does is eat. He's a busy lad. So there we are. We're up to speed. So we've been out and about. We've been to all these kinds of places. You alluded to somewhere else we're going. Where are we going in next week?
We're in London next week, and then Solar and Storage the week after that. Okay. So if anyone's popping down to Solar and Storage, we'll be there on the Tuesday and Thursday.
Are you Thursday as well?
No, I'm not. Other Jaws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe 3PO.
Yeah, so I'm there Tuesday, I'm there Thursday. We're back here because that's a live stream week in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
Okay, and if we bring him in, we can see the Joe that you will meet on Thursday along with Darren. Shall we bring him in?
Yes, let's bring them in.
Let's bring him in from the Greencable room. So in you come, gentlemen. There they come.
There we go.
Fantastic. Do you want to take the
Darren, I think you're in a specialty there. I think we've even given the light a slight pinky hue.
Oh, lovely.
You can never have too much pink.
No, apparently not. Oh, I'm in, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, yes, sort of guest and colleague. I love it. So a bit of both going on here. As always, we like to just sort of get you in, get you comfortable. We like to give you 60 seconds to talk about yourself. Okay, we've had it once before where we took 600 seconds. We had to cut him off. So in just 60 seconds, Darren, for those people who don't know you, and there won't be many on the planet, and a few of your friends and colleagues are in because they're very interested in your race time, which is coming up very shortly, and it is a solo race. So I can already tell you the name you need to put in is Darren, if you want to know who was fastest. Okay, so 60 seconds. Tell us all about yourself.
My name's Darren Crannis. I'm a technical manager up at the ECA. Former electrical contractor, probably like us all. A couple of years ago, I've become, I guess, poacher turned gamekeeper. I live down in Wiltshire, in Swindon, so I can count to 24 quite easily if I wear some sandals. Got a lovely wife at home with my 2 boys, which are probably watching at the moment. Hello, Jude, Joshua and Kerry, and I'm sure we might hear from them later on.
I've already said 60 seconds won't be enough. Already in the comments.
Talk about your family there, but there's some missing people. You've got 3 dogs and 2 cats, is that right?
I currently have 2 dogs and 1 cat, but I believe a 3rd might be on its way.
When you say a third, do you mean on the drive up? So you've been away from home a couple of days?
Yes.
And in that time, unbeknown to yourself, you've purchased another dog?
My wife has purchased another dog.
And you were thrilled. I must admit, when we were
Absolutely.
talking about it off camera,
Can't wait.
thrilled, I would suggest. Absolutely thrilled. You were so excited that you're getting that 3rd dog.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Joe, you don't get out of this, although you're not doing the challenge wall tonight, yeah?
No, I'm not.
That's the, and people have said, Right Said Front actually did 5 albums, so congratulations on that.
No,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
there's a comeback tour coming very soon. So, 60 seconds about Joe Hammond. For people who haven't already seen your videos.
Yeah, well, I only came here for a job interview. I'm doing a live eFIXX. Time served, apprentice, electrician, did that, subcontracted, then college lecturer. Did that 2016, and then, I've done a little bit of work with private training providers, bit of consultation on some kind of courses, working with some of the City and Guilds people, and now I'm here. You guys have brought me in, so it's...
Oh, the roller coaster starts, yeah. You know, when you're getting winched up that roller coaster and it gets closer to the top, you're nearly there. But anyway, we'll see. But you haven't got them. Oh, you've even brought a title in here. I can see that in here.
Yeah, it's good. And we're pleased to have you. So we'd like to say that live on the camera. We're absolutely thrilled to bits to have Joe join us as our first actual standalone content creator. I know we've got the rest of the team all make content. Yeah. And Jenny's obviously our best content creator. She's always pushing forward to do the Generation Game. But we're not doing it this evening, are we? So we see, there she is. There she's waving. So no Generation Game this week. So that's a bit of a shame. Right.
Yes, now we have to turn our attention back to Darren. And obviously you can also join in at this stage. You have to guess, obviously you don't have to guess who got the time because we've only got 1 contestant tonight, but guess the time that Darren completed the challenge wall in. And the good news is he's got loads of former colleagues on there, industry experts he networks with all the time. So the rivalries tonight on that wall, there's going to be blood spilt if we're not careful. And a lot of them in there. I can see Shahid Khan already tuning in. I can see, yes, there's Griff Thomas is in there as well. I think you'll be with Griff tomorrow, won't you?
I'd like to see Shahid's time, but it's somewhere down there.
Oh, that's brave and early.
Yeah, so get your times in. We'll see how down there. But you've been rehearsing it in the car, no way? You've been having sleepless nights about it?
Just been thinking about it for weeks.
Yeah. You haven't planned out a map of strategy?
Strategy for under 4 minutes, so I literally can't go to work tomorrow.
Okay. So when was...
Banged an outrageous already, under 4.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there's people... Oh, no, Shahid's gambling that you're going to be faster than him already. Oh, right. And some people are going, this is slower than that. So that's, So when was the last time on the tools? Just to sort of dabble still a bit?
Probably about 18 months ago.
Right. Where's his tool bag gone?
Don't know. Oh, he's packed it away.
I safely packed it.
Because that had a whiff of trying to look like it had been used, Gary, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I've never seen a bag that pink before, but it did have a whiff of being used. It sort of sprinkled a bit of plastering dust all over it and it trying to make it had been used.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of times locked in. The family even chipping in there as well. I wouldn't. Oh, you might have to have words with them when you get back. But, right, I guess, Joe, we can cut to the Electricians Challenge. I haven't seen this myself.
No, let's go. Joe's in as well.
Right,
So
let's-
come on, Joe. Let's see what we've got on. I'm worried about what you're wearing. Just normal civvy clothes.
Right. So we're just,
Now I've got a feeling. I've stood next to you, and I'm 6'4". You're probably a tad under that. You 6'1"?
6'1.5".
Okay, yeah, and I think some of this is going to be a bit of a stretch for you. So I'm wondering whether that obviously little Nick Ramo there is going to be a help to you.
Good. Hold the screwdriver in the mouth.
Yeah,
It's going
absolutely.
to stay there for the duration, is it?
Here we go. So this is crucial. So you muff this up, you muff the run up, and I think, that end looks awful before we start. That ain't going up. If that goes up, I'll be shocked.
Never had a problem getting it up.
Yeah, well, we beg to differ. Okay, so yeah, that lump on the end was no good.
Too.
Maybe that time.
That screwdriver's taken some punishment.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Here we go. So you
Oh,
got away with that.
that was
obviously,
lucky
just
there.
Absolutely lucky. And
Right, round Lasico bend.
here we go.
No,
Eventually.
not round Lasico bend.
Oh, hello. Oh, look, that screwdriver's still there. No slobbering though.
A
So
new
you've got
thing
hold of your
here.
saliva, so it's all good. In the top hole, you didn't decide to go into the bottom hole, so that's good. So it's easier in the top one. So we're in. We're off and running. Own tools.
Own
No
tools.
excuses.
House tools.
Yeah. Shahid used our kit, didn't he, Shahid? He just manned up. Yeah, whatever you got, Gary. One screwdriver for the whole job. I don't need
I remember
side
Shahid's family promoted him out of trouble. Yeah, got him out of there. So,
Yeah, worked for his dad.
Yeah.
His mum got him the job. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Right.
All look, ladies out there are disappointed. You've mentioned it a couple of times when we saw the band. So yeah, there's no. Oi!
Full Ramo.
Full Ramo.
Full Ramo.
Loving it.
Yeah,
A full Nick Ramo. Oh, and Nick joins us as well. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, the little people will be rejoicing. Okay, as we've gone in there for the absolutely chuffed full Ramo.
Rick's in the background having a good chuckle.
Yeah, it's all good. Yep, so that's good. Will you use the Ramo again to get to the socket, or are you going to stretch? Yeah. So, here we go. So, I like this. Are you going to try and split it?
Oh, no,
You're going in and then do it. I probably would have drew the CPC down slightly. It's to the left or the right, one or the other.
Literally,
Which
all
one is it?
fingers and
I'll
thumbs.
have another go. Oh, you only been off the
FDBC righty-tighty,
we
is
weren't
it?
sure, though, were we, for a long time there?
I thought that there. It was
18 months, it seems a lot longer, doesn't it? A lot longer.
That's how long he was on the tools, Gary. I think
Yeah.
that's what we're getting a whiff of here.
Yeah, we'll hear the company
Clean
still
coat
going.
territory here.
Yeah, and nobody knew he left. So that'll be the next thing we hear. Right, here we go. Got to find the socket. You're going to remember what the letters are for. Here we go. Looking carefully. Screws were always a problem. So Shahid made sure he didn't have a screw problem because he kept them for
Kept
the
them in his
entire.
mouth.
Yes, for his entire time. Yes,
Kept them somewhere safe.
absolutely. Yeah, before he goes in. This is pretty quick though. Pretty quick. I wouldn't say it's Shahid quick, but it's pretty quick. So I think.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
nearly there.
We didn't have a sundial to time.
We haven't seen that time yet. This is. We sometimes edit it to speed it up.
Yeah, it's a lot of shaking going on. A lot of shaking. Were you a bit nervous, or you got a touch of something
I thought
on
you were going to
set?
turn it around the other way there. Right.
we
That's
go.
good. Now
we
you're
go.
poised to press that stop button.
Are you going to have to use the step to get to it, or are you going to just leap in the air?
Right.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's concentration.
Oh,
Here
he's
we
looking
go.
up.
Oh, he's looking up early. Sometimes if it looks slow, what do they say, Gordon?
It is slow.
Oh, dear me. Absolute classic. Well,
How did you find that?
Nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's different doing it in real life.
I mean, some people just go straight out there before they get here and say they're just going to, anything over 4 minutes would be outrageous, wouldn't they?
and you wouldn't go and do your own podcast, spend 20 minutes saying anything over 4 minutes outrageous, turn up and then get a time that was over 4 minutes. You know, your 18-year-old son who's never picked up a screwdriver, he could do it in under 4 minutes, and then you come along and do it in over 4 minutes. Now, you've said off camera and a little bit on camera, you'd like to be under 4 minutes.
I'd like to be under 4 minutes.
That's we like the optimism.
Well, we'll have to have a look here. There's a few people in that 4 minute territory a little bit nervous. So let's have a look. Now, sometimes people say you can tell where you're on the board because we've cunningly adjusted the board to make our lives easy when it comes to it. So I'm looking down here at Shahid Khan, you see, at 5 minutes 18.
4 minutes 18.
That could be embarrassing that either way,
5 years,
couldn't it?
18.
That's outrageous.
5 years, that's
Outrageous.
definitely an outrageous territory here.
Where
We've
is
got Mark
outrageous?
Allenton. You've got his outrageous territory kicks in.
I'm seeing Mark tomorrow and Griff, and I'd really...
Oh, hang on. Whoa, Griff's not in outrageous territory. Griff's a ledge. Okay.
Well, this is an interesting development. So you did do it in under 4 minutes.
Yes!
So that's good. So I'm going to have to shuffle these down here. Who was shuffled
All
down? So
I'm
Neil
concerned
Bridgman's
about.
gone. Adam Perry's gone. We're into electrician territory here. Luke Carter, Richard Brooke, Chris Allen. Ooh, now here's a challenge here because
there's a gap there.
there is a gap because it's exactly the same time, 3 minutes and 51.
And you're underneath based on the fact you were second to do it, eh? So.
Doesn't Crannis go before Thomas, though?
Well, he's occupied the space first, so I think we'll have to...
We're more likely to need a favour off Griff than we are you.
Yeah.
Perhaps I could do a podcast for 20 minutes to say I can wire a socket in under 4 minutes.
So it's good. It was good. And of course, what you end up seeing is part of a race or part of a combination of races. You have 3 attempts, and would you suggest your first one, which the majority of that footage was that your fastest go?
No.
What about your second go?
Rather hope that definitely wasn't caught on camera.
No, you spent a lot of time not getting it up the tube.
Disaster.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I had a few problems.
Yeah, and then your third go was your best go. So
Third go was it,
yeah, so you gradually, when you didn't, you were okay, terrible, great.
Yes.
So yeah, it was good. Is Griff in the comments? Is it a round of applause?
Congratulations. There's a lot of congratulations going on there.
Just under me.
Yeah. Even Shahid said well done as well. So there we go. So does that make you the fastest ECA person?
That does make me the fastest ECA person.
I'd argue Eddie Clemens. To be,
Oh, he's a good, solid ECA member.
yeah,
Yeah,
break him in half.
Just
as
not
ECA.
close enough. There you go.
Do you regret not having a go there, Joe? Would you were up for that? Because I think we're going to see you wire a socket maybe later on when obviously we bring Rick in. So is it something you wanted to quickly revisit?
Oh, I'd love to revisit it, I think.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see later on when we take on Rick. So that should be super exciting. All right, okay, so we're into the meat and veg now. Okay, happy with that?
Oh, Neil Bridgman's on.
It's outrageous. Is he not
Outrageously
watching rugby? You say you go to rugby's Neil the other side, or is he in the same stand as you?
I'm in the winner's stand, obviously.
Okay. So,
It takes me less than 4 minutes to get to my seat. I sit opposite him at Bath Rugby Club.
okay, good.
Opposite.
Opposite.
Like opposite sides of the ground.
Yes,
Do you make eye contact at a huge distance?
Well, I'm a Gloucester supporter, so there's a sea of blue and then a little chap who's obviously 6'1.5" in red.
right, okay.
So normally easy to spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd imagine Neil will spot you. Okay, yeah, 'cause
Often.
last time I met Neil, he seemed quite a large gentleman. Okay, yeah, a bit my size, I think, a bit broader maybe, a fraction broader than me. But that's good, I'm glad he's on. So he's a great sport. And obviously we're going to be talking about some of the things that he's involved in, as well as yourself later on in the show, aren't we, as we move forward.
Neil thinks it's a fix.
Well, as we only have one person
Yeah.
do the challenge, only one person can actually tidy up then, can't they?
Oh,
So
yeah,
we've
what a
obviously-
shame it's time to...
Yeah, so-
Obviously, we do work with the Greencable, great service for electricians. Instead of having to haul all your scrap down to the scrapyard and try and negotiate some cash out the garden and then fiddle the weighing scales, there is an alternative way. Get a bin from Greencable. The link is in the description.
Yeah.
Put all your waste in there. When it's full, they come and collect it and give you some cash, not real cash, in your hand. They will transfer it to your bank the same day.
Okay,
And
brilliant.
our bin is nearly full.
Well, they contacted us on Instagram. I said next week we'd be up for having it emptied.
You said someone's just made a load of scrap.
Yeah.
And there we go.
absolutely, yes.
Cleaning
Yeah,
up.
there we are. And again, that's quite a tall bin as well, isn't it? It's done you again.
And of course, we're double dipping on that because Doncaster Cables give us the cable, and then we put it in the green cable bin, and it'll be a night out, Gary.
Yeah, we'll be a night out.
Yeah.
Obviously, hopefully, be one that I'm joining on because I didn't get on the Portuguese trip and all the rest of it. I'll get all the other
Portuguese trip?
Yeah, well, when you were on to Portugal. Well, we saw the green bin there. Okay, so that's synonymous with our green ring. The green cable bin is in there for ours, but you're synonymous with a different colour, aren't you? Across social media and all the rest of it, and it's got quite a telling story behind it. It's not just a you thing. It's not just I want to be perhaps seen and identified with a colour, because there's actually a really heartwarming story behind it, Darren. So do you want to tell us your pink story?
There is. I went to Loughborough University. We started an old boys rugby game. So I stayed in a hall of residence called Faulkner Eggington. We called it Folkegg. It was like the council estate of halls.
Full keg, was it?
Folkegg.
Full keg, okay.
And one of our rugby team, he had a lump underneath his arm. When he had the biopsy, still he had breast cancer, which is quite rare for men. So we made the old boys game. So every year we went back to play the young ones, the young guns, and we raised money for cancer research. So our rugby shirts were pink, because no other rugby team plays in pink, easily identifiable. And we always had the cancer research logo. So the whole weekend was spent raising money for cancer research.
But you've carried that on. So it becomes a trait, and you said it's not just you out of the people that played the rugby, that others have also kept a pink trait throughout themselves.
I mean, the first rugby game, there was probably 20 of us. There's now probably 200 alumni, and we always wear pink. There's more pink in my wardrobe than any other cover. We've got pink blazers. So at my wedding, I was presented with a pink blazer. Some of the guys even wore pink rugby boots, which is a bit of a mistake if you're stuck in the bottom of a ruck.
Easily identified, I would suggest.
Easily
Pink ones on it.
identified.
Oh, right, okay. Don't make that mistake too many times, do you?
No, just the once.
Great story. So I think now every time everyone sees you, hopefully on social media, LinkedIn's your place. I see more of you on LinkedIn than I do most people on there. That it's nice to think that actually there is a story behind that, and not just necessarily a flamboyant character, which you are, but a flamboyant character trying to say, look, I'm here, and all the rest of it. It's actually a wonderful story behind it as well. So yeah, thank you for that. That was heartwarming. Yeah, brilliant.
You learn something new every day. There we go. We know the secret now. Or the not so secret now.
No, and you went to university, which seems odd because you suggested you were an electrician, and I don't know many electricians that start off by going to university. So what was your degree in?
Electrical and electronic engineering.
Okay, and how does that lead to being effectively lifting floorboards, working in factories and pulling panel lights out in a commercial installation?
So I went for my training with Motorola, so electrical, electronic, and then they sponsored me to go to university. So I was quite fortunate to be part of their grad program.
Right.
So that sort of led more towards the electronic side, away from the electrical. So I went through university in there, and I then went into sort of engineering, electrical, or electronic. But I sort of felt I wanted to go back to my roots, which was electrical. So I went, back to night school to top up my qualifications, because CPD is important. We talk about that today, but it's important that we top up those. And to cut a long story short, I basically teamed up with a group of lads with a firm and started my own company probably about 12, 13 years ago.
Okay, so that's an interesting way around it. Okay, so you've gone in, and obviously you've gathered some life skills there that have helped you where you are now. But let's think about that business. So you said you run your own business for about 13 years. That business is still going, though, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think as we go for about 12 or 13 years, I guess I retired from my business, or I moved on from my business, or I was sacked from my business, from my
Promoted out of trouble.
Well, again,
after about 10 years. So I grew that business from a one-man band, took on my first apprentices.
So you took on apprentices. So where are they now, the apprentices?
They are still very much in the business. They are the heart and soul.
So that must be difficult to run both things. So who actually runs the day-to-day part of your business then? Because surely it can't be you. You're doing your ECA stuff.
So when the ECA come to me, so through running my business, I was on the ECA. Fortunately, I became an ECA member. I applied to be an ECA member. I was on their technical committees and their other councils, because the ECA is sort of owned and ran by members.
Peel that back. Well, you can't have been an ECA member because they're for big, established companies. Is that right, Gordon? The big powerhouses of the electrical industry have the old ECA badge on it. You said to me you had a couple of blokes working out of the back of a van. You can't get ECA membership like that, can you?
Anyone can be an ECA member.
Right, okay. So, before we see your journey into that, what's the benefits of any of us joining the ECA then? So we've had to join some of those other ones that begin with an N. Yeah, okay. So why are we joining one that doesn't begin with an N?
So the ECA is slightly different to other. It's not a CPS scheme. It's a trade organisation, trade association. So what you get is, we hope the jewel in the crown, the strengths of the ECA is technical. So you get your technical support with us, but we've got so many other arms. We have a contracts and commercial team. We have a legal team, health and safety team. So we really are sort of all round your business to help you grow. So as you're maybe a smaller company and a new member, you might sort of use the technical aspects. As you're growing, you might speak to our, we've got some cracking lawyers sat in our London office that are probably worth £300 an hour, and they will answer your call and go through your contracts. And so you don't trip up as you grow. And you might have to go through some health and safety qualifications or accreditations, and we'll help you through with that. So as you grow, you'll probably use different parts of your membership, a bit like a gym. A gym membership is only as good, and I'm not looking at anyone in particular here.
I've got one.
As you exercise and use it. So
Not Jim's Caff, Gary.
So when you first join the ECA, the likelihood is probably going to use their technical helpline. It's the best. Okay, Shahid sat on there. I think you all have to, there's a rotation thing to sit on there. So it's fantastic. But like you said, as you build your business up, you might find all of a sudden you've now got to have more written policies around safety. Maybe when you go above 5 within a company, start having those policies, or God forbid you come up against a legal thing. I'd like to suggest that's maybe not that you've dropped a clanger, maybe someone hasn't paid you, or you're struggling to get some sort of finance removed from somebody's hands.
It's easy if you want to grow and you look at larger contracts, you can get those contracts sent away. We can look at them for you,
right,
and say what to look out for, where you might be exposed, if it's worth signing it or not. So we can give you that advice before we then provide first aid. It's easier to try and give you the tools rather than give you first aid after.
Okay. That makes it sort of first aid after.
Yeah, and it's those things that really do help you grow, isn't it, as a business? But people I think people from the outside think it is for these huge contractors. But we know Eddie up on the board there. He's a 1-2 man company, isn't he?
Eddie is lovely. He's such a huge advocate of not only the ECA but apprenticeships and electrical in general. No one wants anyone to fail, but as the ECA we can help. We try and help you early. We can also, let's say, give you first aid. At the end, it's not preferred, but we're there to support you through your whole journey.
Yeah, and I noticed something changes. You're out there with advice and guidance and model forms and all the bits to make life easy. So you just download it, slip your own logo on it. You're in business.
We write those ourselves.
Yeah, and what I would say from sitting in on some of the meetings, there's a culture of there is wanting to help the members, whereas other organisations, you get the hint that's there sort of to browbeat the members and sort of coming along and sticking their nose into your work. You need to be doing that. You're not doing this. You're not doing that.
I wouldn't work for the ECA unless
Good job you clarified that.
They helped me through my business, and one of the things I said at my interview was, if I can help someone else, that makes my day. So we run the helpline where we're helping members. We write guidance where we're helping members. We do road shows. Seminars, webinars, and we're always just trying to help.
Yeah, and that's where tomorrow you're at some sort of summit. You're at, is it Ellen Road?
Ellen Road at Leeds.
There's going to be 100 people there?
Yeah, so we're doing a big prosumer
Yep.
road show. We're talking about the prosumer space. So really, electrical contracting has changed for the first time since 1882, since the invention of the light bulb. Okay, and why wouldn't you want to be on that journey? Do you just want to install lights? And, lights are fantastic. But the prosumer space is really where, contractors are going to become energy contractors, and you want to be at the forefront of that. Electrical is going to lead the way.
Did I mention I've just had solar battery installed on my own property? I could spend hours talking
You
about
can,
it.
Gary.
And I love it.
How much money have you got?
I've got an air fryer as well.
How much money did you save on your first?
Oh, don't start them off, please.
I don't want to become obsessive with this thing. I've got an obsessive personality, which is really good. I'm not obsessed about these things. Okay, so 100 people at Ellen Roads, that's a sellout normally on a Saturday to get that many people in. You'll feel like there'll probably be police everywhere, horse riding and all sorts of things.
That's just for my arrival.
Yeah, just keeping the crowd down and all the rest of it. So that's there. Now, the ECA can help other people as well, can't they, Joe?
Yes, so the educational associate schemes that you have as well, which I know we used to tie into. Tell us more about those, because I don't think enough colleges really are tapping into them.
So the ECA is not just for members. We have probably short of 3,000 member companies, about 27,000 operatives across the UK, and I think collectively they sort of turn over about £40 billion. But we have many tiers of membership, and one of those is educational associate, where educational establishments, training establishments can get access to our resources. And I believe that's free. So we can really help our young forthcoming generation. These are the people who are going to be installing all this new fancy kit in homes and businesses across the UK.
LED lights have been around for a while. I don't think it's new and fancy.
But say if I'm a college lecturer, and we've got 2 classic examples here, I work for them. Sometimes I know the knowledge sometimes, the things they don't know about, you wouldn't believe. And if they were to ring up the helpline, would they get access to help to make them sound like experts when they went back in the
If you're really unlucky, I will answer the phone.
Right.
If you're really lucky, but the beauty is one of our we don't run a helpline. One of our technical managers is on the helpline every day. So you get to speak to a technical manager. They are also on all the other committees that help the industry. So when you talk to one of us, we don't have scripts. We don't have a Q&A section. We just give you a real live answer to your problem and help guide you through.
That's really good. Yeah, it's really good. And you've been working on some stuff that we'll bring up a bit later on as well, on a new CPD, haven't you, Joe? Again, us trying to help the electrical industry through our own CPDs. I know, obviously, everyone's having a bit of a dibble at those type of things at the minute. And, of course, your roadshow is another version of a CPD. And we said that Griff would be down there as well when we talk about the prosumer as well, won't we?
So, well, yeah, and Mark Allison's in the comments. He's an ECA Educational Associate with Apprentice 1-to-1, and he says it's great. So he's obviously sucking loads of information out of there. I think we need to be phoning up a bit more often, so you will get on the end of the line. And everyone's going to Leeds tomorrow and Skipton on Friday.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we're Skipton. Yeah,
Skipton tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah. So let's go tomorrow if you go to Skipton. Gordon's doing a session tomorrow for Oldfields, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, it isn't actually in Skipton. It's on the outskirts. Where are we going to?
Coniston Hotel.
I don't know where that is. So yeah.
Well,
you have to
it's
find it
out that way somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm there on Friday, aren't I?
Yeah. So while you're doing the questions, I'll be doing a bit of clay pigeon shooting.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
something like that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So interesting there on the background, a little bit about the ECA and obviously what it can do for people, which is great, and obviously that educational one's superb as well. You've got something in the comments, Gordon.
Oh dear.
What's
Someone
up?
suggesting we're hiring you out for the NHS for anaesthetic purposes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, if those solar stories come out, yeah, I tell you. And we have got actually Keith from Sunseed coming on with Griff in a few weeks' time.
I won't speak in that.
Will you not?
No, you would never get a word. Let them two go.
Yeah.
We can sit in the green room.
Yeah. But Keith has got a lot to answer for, yeah? Because the inverter in your toilet, yeah? In your plant room, sorry.
Plant room where I've just had a toilet and basin installed, which are new.
Yeah, check out. He's got a lot to answer for because he's just that app. It's never away.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, we managed to get the evening meal was cooked today on the sunshine that was left behind during the day. Right, we're slipping away. How we go here?
Just apprenticeships, Gary. Obviously, you've got apprentices they're still in the business.
Yeah, the 2 apprentices we brought on are still there. I think one's done a 10-year service.
Yeah, sounds like he's...
So obviously any good business, obviously small business that was built on apprentices, and now you don't work in a business, you've left it to your good wife and your 3 dogs, and one's on its way, so make the 3rd dog. Obviously, there's a profit share involved and there's stakeholders in the business. And just talk me through how you made them stakeholders in the business, because that's such a kind thing to do, and obviously it benefits the people that have worked with you over a long period of time. Can you name your 2 electricians that are stakeholders?
I think my wife will say otherwise, but it's Matt and Matt.
Matt. Oh,
Oh,
right,
well,
you've got the Joe problem. You've got the Matt problem.
We beat you with the Joe problem.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so you got 2 of them. I suppose a Matties, is it? Yeah.
Sounds like they haven't got that steak, Gary. They'll call them doormats.
Oh, right, okay. So, we're still a limited company in the wife's name. I like it. Yeah. So I wonder why we brought her in. So that's fantastic. She answer all the calls? What else does she do?
She's the managing director.
Yeah, I understand that. Electrical background, when did they bring up? She got electrical background?
She was formerly in teaching.
Okay.
So she was a technology teacher. So she was used to sort of, mechanical, electrical industry. So she taught there for 9 years. And one day I got the business to a size and I said, why don't you...
share it between the 2 mats?
Share it between us both.
If you're watching the 2 mats, it's terribly hard to get you a stake in the business.
She's in the comments. It's all mine. There you go. You might find some black bags on the door when you get back.
Black bags and a horse.
There you go. We've got Matt and Chatty Matty.
All right.
There you
Okay.
go.
I like it. Hopefully they're in tonight. Try and get your steak sorted out in the morning. Contract in the post.
So Crannis Technical Services, or is it Crannis Technology? We've got Crannis Technology in here. Which one are you going under now?
Well, you're there when you set up your business, and your accountant says to you, because I do recommend if you're going to set a business up, go to an accountant. People come to electricians and say, we trust you to put, an award-winning solar PV system and battery storage in my toilet.
Yep.
Go to someone who knows. So the accountant said, what do you want to call it? And I went, Crannis. And I went, Technology Services. And that's what it was. And we sort of shortened that down to CTS.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I had the opportunity, because I was working with the ECA, because we use our members, we ask our members to help us on our JPEL committees, on our working groups. So I was already working with the ECA on the JPEL committees for years before.
Just explain to people who maybe haven't heard that JPEL phrase before or understand where it fits into the ecosystem, which is the electrical industry. What do you mean by JPEL 64?
So our big brown book, which is just here, just there. So JPEL is the Joint Power and Electrical Committee. It's a joint committee.
Wet, this one.
And they're responsible for authoring this book.
That doesn't link in. I don't understand. I can't get the joined up thinking there. So you're a contracting electrician, and you sat on JPEL 64.
Yes.
So that's the thing I wanted people to get into their mind, because when I used to teach, I used to say to people in the room, somebody in this room or all of us in this room could end up writing the regulations, and nobody believed me. They didn't believe it was possible. And then they'd think you'd have to perhaps be associated with a very large organisation. I know you was associated with the ECA. You weren't necessarily working for them. You were working on behalf of them,
That's right.
being a member,
Yes.
okay, and you were sitting on JPEL 64.
Yeah, so I was on Subcommittee A, which is verification. The business specialised in EICRs, periodic inspection, and it was a real strength for the business. And because of that, I helped the ECA represent our members on verification. So, Part 6, Appendix 6, Part 1, Part 2 of the book, and that's where sort of my specialties lied. And I shared that with the ECA, and that's what we helped develop, that part of the regulations for our members.
That's really good. And that links nicely into a photograph that we're going to show for the second part of the show. So we'll bring the picture in now. We want our audience to have a little look at this, bearing in mind EICRs. It's
one from the family album, this one?
So it's the one on the screen. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, go for that one. That's it.
There we go.
There we go. So there we go. So
audience can get involved.
Please do not think this is my downstairs toilet. I haven't it upgraded.
Plant room, Gary.
Plant room, yeah.
But you just haven't added a
toilet and basin.
tile
Yeah,
in
I
there.
have in there. So this is not in my house.
Spends a lot of time in there looking
So
at
we're going to look at this, and we're going to ask. Joe doesn't know this yet. Joe 3PO's also going to have a look at this picture, and we're going to throw him under the bus. So obviously we're going to ask him in a little while, not yet. We're going to ask him what he thinks. There's something not quite right in that picture. Yeah. Okay, so have a look at that. Imagine doing an EICR. Okay, this is where obviously the people who understand this picture know the answer, like Darren did back in the day. That's why he's sitting on JPEL 64. If, like me, you're looking at it trying to work out whether the screws are horizontally and vertical in the two-gang switch on the left-hand side, obviously you're not in the JPEL 64 gang, I would suggest. So there's your picture. Okay, let's come back out of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to keep studying that one, yeah?
Yes, have a look at that one. So if you have to pause it and come back to live, that's fine. So you're going to find
while people are
problem there.
thinking about that, Gary, I think we can see what Rick and Joe's got up to during Screwfix Live.
So when you come to a trade show, you're often faced with hundreds of mini-games across all the stands.
That's right, and we're here at Screwfix Live, and we've decided to take on the Joes versus Rick challenge.
So it's 2 versus 1. Let's have it.
Walking around Screwfix Live, we found our first game. A game similar to Whack-A-Mole. It's me versus Rick.
Oh.
Getting out of breath already. A very close first game, but Rick's 1-0 up. So next up, I thought I'd hand over to someone with a little more electrical knowledge than I. So up steps Joe Hammond, or Joe 3PO, to take on Rick in his next challenge.
You may start now.
Oh!
Rough Rick.
Rough Rick.
This is the most nervous I've ever been in my life. I'm not doubling up the CPCs. I've gone the wrong side with my neutral.
Sounds like a you problem.
What we like to do is... You're done! Does that stop? Is your patch just going to be IP4X?
No.
Neutral's poking out. Okay.
Despite the earlier setback, Rick ends up beating Joe by about 55 seconds, 2-0 to Rick. I've got a suspicion that Rick is starting to get hungry, so hopefully we can beat him soon. Let's see how we get on at table tennis.
Hey!
Love one.
1-0. Oh!
Ones.
Supposed to play for England this one.
1-2. Twos.
Oh! Giving it the... What's the outscore?
3-2.
3-2. Didn't you play for England once upon a time? One more point.
One more point, he's the winner.
So Joe, we're midway through the challenge, snuck outside for a bite to eat, and quite honestly, I think we're letting our friends, our family, and the rest of the eFIXX team down because Rick is winning 3-0. So what do you think we can do about that?
He is winning 3-0, Joe. But we're out here having something to eat. Rick's not here. I think he's going to start to fail if he doesn't get any food in him.
I think that is correct. Let's see how the rest of the challenge goes. After a filling lunch and being amused by watching Rick take on a spot of juggling, we were ready for the next challenge. I'm up.
100.
Oh, he's drawn with Rick already.
Oh,
Hey. I'll take it. Take it.
there we go.
Yeah. Winner. Me and Joe were starting to build up a bit of momentum. Could the comeback be on? I think so. Let's see how we get on with this next challenge where we had to hang for the longest.
3, 2, 1, go. 20 seconds.
Way up here.
20 seconds in.
How long have we gone?
2 plasterboard fixings. 37 seconds.
We're going. Oh, it's getting hard.
50 seconds.
I'm doing it longer than that. Jeez.
That was excellent.
There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh. It's not high enough.
Just 1 point behind and catching Rick by the minute. Could Rick go out in front again?
Yep. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll be focusing on my gut. Starting to
His
burn.
arms are dropping a bit.
Getting there now.
Straight in. Oh, he's going. Oh, he's struggling. Struggling.
Jeez. Right, no more physical games. 3, 2, 1, go.
Got my grip all wrong.
Here we have it, Mr. Routledge.
Laser focus.
Yeah, Mr. I've got a gym membership versus Mr. I go to the gym.
Close your eyes, pretend you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute.
How low are his arms? He's just leaning back more. Look at
Take the
this.
second.
Look at this. I could have done that and all. Carried on going like this.
That's enough of that.
Cheating.
After some questionable antics by me and Joe were finally drawing with Rick. So whilst those two had a mess around, I thought I'd go find the final challenge, bowling. And the scores from the final game, Rick beats Joe 3PO 18-11. After a delightful game with many ups and downs for both teams, Rick takes his place as the rightful king in the Rick versus Joe's challenge. Rick versus Joe.
Well, I never left the Lasico stand all day, and you lot were running around playing silly little games. But he's a bit of a ledge, isn't he? Old Rick wins again. So can you? Was that a joke in there? Because he said to you, you used to play table tennis for England.
Very, very young. Very young. So yes, under 13s. Used to play in Nottingham.
Okay. Normally people say, I haven't lost it. You've completely lost it. You've got no idea. You know, it was like the big serve over the net was a dinking over, wasn't it?
He was aiming for the taps though, and there was taps attached to that table.
Oh, I think
and
Gary,
I didn't have my bat.
after my disastrous attempt at solar and storage last year, I think I might have a crack actually.
net off the table. Okay, so that was good. So that was our first delve into challenges, and I think that might be something that we'll have as a slot. I'm not suggesting it'd be very regular, but we'll certainly do those challenges. I like the sound of that. I'd like to send them out with a sort of a budget, wouldn't you? Sort of give them an envelope. We could do that envelope thing, they open it up, and they've got to do the centre aisle at Aldi and Lidl. Well, other supermarkets are available, and sort of spend a certain amount of money on tools or something like that, and then bring them back. That might be a good one. Best value for money for 20 quid in the centre aisle.
Just go straight on Temu.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you can get it the same day though, can you?
No, it takes a while, but it does come for free.
It does over a certain order, doesn't it?
Oh, you've been on there, have you?
No, Rick has. Rick's.
Well, no, I've done. That's where I got my spoons from.
Oh, right, okay.
Shovel spoons. Quite proud of them.
Let's have a look at them. And I do like them as well.
Yeah,
so let's have a look
quite
at
good.
Yeah, look at those.
That's what everyone wants.
Solid silver, aren't they?
Christmas gift. Yeah, real silver, finest silver plate.
Sheffield, yeah.
Yeah, they're steel.
Silver, yeah, steel, yeah.
Invest in some of those.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I think you'd probably get change out of £5, including delivery. Well, that was a lot of fun. That looked fun anyway. Right, so we're back in. Let's have a look at that. Bring that consumer unit back in.
Okay.
Distribution grid.
Yeah, I'm going to say you've used the wrong word there. That doesn't have a whiff of a consumer unit about me there.
Well, that's a big consumer, that one there. That's probably the MC, isn't it?
Right, we did say we're going to let 3PO have a look at this one. So Joe 3PO, so you've looked at that, and what's your thoughts?
Well, I'm devastated there's no cable shroud on that bottom right cable.
Absolutely, yeah. It's hard to spot it, and we've just covered it now with our own picture. Just underneath us, okay?
It is there.
Yeah, is a shroud, yeah. So there it is. So and that's a keen eye spot, that is. Yeah, I bet you could find Wally in that maze of people and spot them straight away. So, but that's not right, is it, Darren?
No, I think, is it the stickers? There you go. Those stickers aren't straight, are they? Those danger stickers, lethal under that cover.
No, again, I don't know whether we need them. Okay.
Small electricity meter. One of the electricity meters is tiny.
There's nothing wrong with being tiny.
No. And you're 6'2". Yeah.
And a half.
Yeah, when we do the tool from above, you might be the first person that doesn't need to kneel because you're still nowhere near it. Okay.
Wait before we're down. See if the audience can spot anything. No one can spot anything wrong yet. Which is a first for a YouTube video.
Well, we've actually put this mistake into a couple of our videos, isn't it, to see if people could find it. We did it in our series. Yeah.
We've put it in our own industrial unit.
You went, oh, we took one out when we moved in. Yeah, but we put one in as well. So
He's got you.
Yeah. So anyone got it in now?
It could be Marcus Sparky Allenson A-type.
Oh.
Referring to what?
Yeah, what is that? The RCD types in there that we can't see? I think it is, and I think he's going to use an A and a B, and he.
Yeah.
So
see.
See if he'll clarify his answer. We're going to be about 60 seconds behind on this, so as you come in. Remember, the more comments you put in, the more chance you've got of being into the register at the end. And again, if you've got some great comments on catch-up and you've got to this section, you want to leave some other thoughts around, and we're going to be delving into EICRs and...
Appears to be a pointless CPC on the SWA cable. It's always well, just people put it in anyway, just in case, don't they? So, that's well spotted. We've got... and then someone said it's undersized. Yeah, it's undersized. So there we go. That's what we like about YouTube. You get all sections of opinion and conduit. And let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Conduit. Hold on, it's behind the heart there. Conduit on both ends of the CU.
All right. Okay.
Oh, look.
Popcorn's out. All right. We're all munching and watching. I like it. Yeah. What's going on? So. So we're going to have a look at some EICR images we've got just generally scattering around, no storyline to them, we've just pulled some photographs that we've got. But what you're going to describe now for us is one of those moments when we've had a breathtaking moment ourselves today, haven't we, in the unit? It was in our intro as well, so we did it in our intro. And what mistake has been made in the photograph that you took when you were doing one of your EICRs? And this is why people like yourself sit on JBL64 for your knowledge.
Yeah, and this is also why we try and help the industry as well. I mean, to pardon the phrase from those greater than I, you don't know what you don't know. But there we got a selection problem with that small distribution board. It's a consumer unit, and it's installed in an industrial commercial environment. So, believe it or not, it's just through industry knowledge, but that small consumer unit there is a consumer unit, and it should be a type A or B board. And I don't think people understand the difference between a consumer unit and a type A and type B board, which you use in industrial.
So probably someone's picked that on price. Do you think that the consumer unit in a dwelling is likely to be maybe that little bit cheaper? They've maybe moved themselves out of a more domestic setting. Maybe they've grown their own business, but maybe their knowledge has just lagged a little bit behind.
Yeah, so often they're coming up maybe from the more domestic world and they're coming in, or they might see a price break, or it might even be the wholesale chain gives them that because they think it's more value for money, which is why you should really check your specification. But often, consumer units go in places where it should be industrial commercial switchgear, and there is a clear difference in the standards between the two. Okay,
not to overcomplicate it, so let's just make it nice and simple. What's the thinking behind the consumer unit having a dwelling, and maybe it's type testing as an overview, where we can instantly see it doesn't fit into a commercial industrial then? So can you give us that, Darren?
So a consumer unit is a type tested assembly, which means it's a product assembly. So inside a consumer unit, you will have devices, RCDs, main switch, MCBs, RCBOs. and together as a solution. So it's an assembly. It goes through product testing, and that testing standard is for all those products inside it, installed by the same manufacturer, the manufacturer blanks, with all the IP rating, and within 3 meters of a BS88-3 or a 1362-fuse, and it will take a 16 kA fault as an assembly. So there may be, in some cases, especially in London where fault currents are huge, where it may be over 6 kA, so your breakers would basically be toast, but your assembly will take that. And again, it's designed for a domestic environment in that situation.
And you suggested some buzz bar, didn't you? So some 400 amp buzz bar and a panel above that. Is that something you'd seen or you'd suggested?
Yeah, something you'll see in the factory. People will plug it into a bus bar system, which is clearly not not a residential installation with meter tails and a BS8.
And the trouble is, it's not tested in that environment.
Okay.
So you risk you then being the designer of the equipment. And obviously you're signing as a design engineer,
Okay.
the commissioner. So you risk then taking on that type testing yourself.
Okay. Yeah, it's great. And yeah, we've made the mistake in our own unit, and it's easily done because we needed to fit.
You chose that one, Gary. It was one of your mistakes. You should have been a college lecturer's phone on that ECA technical helpline.
Yeah, absolutely. but it's easy done because we needed to fit that board, didn't we?
Well, it's metal clad. Put it in there.
But it's done. I think some of the rigs that we've been sent through in the past from EAL and City and Guilds may have indicated a board that now, in hindsight, wasn't correct for that location. They're trying to keep it down on price. So how would you have coded that? So you've gone in, you've done the inspection there. Okay, we're not thinking C1. We're not thinking anyone's going to die the minute they walk towards it.
Maybe a C3 at best, providing the integrity. It's not a great choice, but it's in there. And when we do electrical inspections, we're not doing initial verification. So really, ideally, that should have been picked up in verification.
Yep.
If not, we're just checking that the installation is safe for continued use.
Okay. And with that in mind, you've got a good way of doing C1, C2 and C3. Just run me through your thinking behind each of those codes.
So I can code off 3 fingers.
Okay.
I have 6 on both hands.
Yeah, because where you were born and
Right,
24 toes.
Yeah, but I just used 3 fingers whenever I was coding. I didn't really use any books, although there are some great guides out there. Best practice guide 4 is really, really good, and that's a free download. For anyone, electricians out there, it's a free download from Electrical Safety First, so we're big advocates for that because it's an industry consensus. But, 3 fingers is all I use. And the first one was exposed live parts. So if I stick my finger into a bus bar, I'm not going home that night to see
the 3 dogs.
Kids, my wife, 3 dogs, and the horse or whatever gets bought while I'm away.
It's all right, your black bags on the doorstep.
Black bags on the doorstep.
Yeah.
The code 2, and a classic example is singles in trunking. So 2 things have to happen for me not to go home to my 15 dogs, 2 kids and a wife. So I have to be touching a basic insulated part, and it has to fail.
Okay.
So touching a single insulated conductor is a famous one for that one there.
Yep.
And then code 3 is your improvements recommended.
Okay. Now, there's other ones out there, and we put it in our title, didn't we? We put further investigation. Okay. Have you come across that before, Joe?
I have come across FI.
Okay. Yeah. So I've sat there before at seminars with the people presenting it having N in the title, well, first letter at least, and they'd say things like to us in the audience, we don't find a protective bonding conductor to gas and water. How do we code it as the crowd? I'm sitting in the crowd, I'm feeling all a little bit, I don't like these sort of things. And they came back with FI, and you mentioned FI. What's FI then?
Further investigation.
But you don't like that one.
Do you not like it?
Do you ever use it?
No.
Okay, so I've got no bonding to my gas and water, or I can't find it. So why would you not put that down as further investigation? You've got a great way of clearing this up.
So further investigation is to give the inspector more time to ascertain a code to put on the report. That's all we or you is doing. You're producing a report. And FI means you haven't been given enough time to write a code on that report. So if you're between 2 codes, there's no need for an FI because you're halfway to making your decision, one or the other. Pick one using your engineering judgment and put it on the form.
But don't put FI.
There's no reason to put FI.
Okay. So and again, I sat there in the audience a little bit nervous about that one because you'd be looking first of all to see if the incoming gas and water are made of plastic. Okay, so if we've got that, we're okay. We're already coded. Or we could have taken a measurement. Okay, that wouldn't take very long to take a measurement. We're already in coding territory now.
Yeah. So we don't need extra time to think about this.
Boxed in behind the kitchen cupboards, Gary.
Well, yeah, but again, but you can always you can get a probe on a pipe, and you can get it on you can get a measurement, can you? You can always do that. So, yeah, I like that one because that's hopefully the audience gets something out of that one. It's that's clarity. You're between two codes. That's what you're going to choose. You're going to use your engineering judgment. You're going to pick a code. Yeah. You've got to put something down.
And it's for the purpose of the report.
Yes.
So we see a lot of FI codes on unidentified circuits. But again, in electrical inspections, you're there to inspect what's there. If you've not been given a circuit schedule, that's verification. You inspect what's there. So you'd put that in your limitations, for an example. Because you can't find a circuit or you can't get through a locked door, you put that on your limitations. Just because you can't get to it doesn't mean it's necessarily unsafe. So we're talking about not abusing the FI code.
Okay, yeah, that's good. How did you teach that one when you were at college?
I never used to teach FI.
Okay.
Suddenly changed that, Gary.
No, I've seen it loads. No, I've seen it loads.
3 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I've seen it loads. But you're absolutely right because you're there to verify. You know, for a lot of my time was trying to kick electricians out, stop using LIM, and that was the one that used to really grind my gears. But yeah, I completely agree. I don't like FI.
I think a famous
there to find it
is ring circuits, our famous ring final circuit.
Oh, yes.
You see the
You're talking about ring mains.
open ring mains, ring mains.
They're taking a mic because you say it so right, I can't jump in.
Ring final
circuits.
circuits. Ring
Lighting final circuits, but we never say it. But yes, go on, yeah, ring
final.
Yeah.
So a ring final is a classic one, especially in domestic homes, where half the time you test them, you're going to have some open ends. Okay, so normally your line neutral CPC is going to be open. There's no need for an FI on there because you've absolutely found the fault straight away.
Right.
Your job is to report what you see in front of you, and that is a break in the conductor. So therefore, the circuit protected device, if it's at 32 amps, can no longer protect that cable.
Yep.
Now the remedial works is some poor person's going to have to go and find that break.
Yep.
But that's a remedial action. That is not needed for the report.
Yeah, so
There you go. Mark Allinson's in. He's
is he?
yeah.
Let's listen.
F1, FI at domestic level is rarely needed. Larger, complex installs is often needed alongside the much maligned LIM. Oh, so I tell you, so you're all going to Leeds tomorrow. Get sorted out in the car park before you get in there.
Many a thing has been sorted out in the Leeds car park, especially when they're playing. Oh, don't go in red. I would suggest they don't like red. Rick got a bit of telling off by his friends. He's a massive Leeds fan, and they asked him, "Why are you wearing a red shirt?" And he said, "That's because it's the colour at work." And they just couldn't get over that he'd take a job where he has to wear red shirts. Talking of black and white ones, I went to Newcastle getting on this evening. Champions League, first game at home. There you go. First half winning 1-0, so you don't need to turn over and watch that, so you already know the result.
And Griff Thomas thinks it was just be, C1 for ring circuits, full stop. Get rid of them.
Agree with that. Well done, Griff. Well done, Griff.
It's going to kill you straight away. Love it. The minute you walk towards it, you're dead. Okay.
Yeah, and people like the three-fingered thing. So there you go. Yeah.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah, no, and again, they're the little bits that hopefully, having great guests on as we do every week or every fortnight, they're the little bits that hopefully people are getting out of it. And maybe when they go to write, FI on there now, they think, hang on a minute, no, I'm here now.
Put a bit more effort in.
Yeah, a little bit more effort. Now, when you were doing your business, we're going to do some coding in a minute, okay? When you were doing your business and all the rest of it, were you looking to pick up the remedial work, or were you specialising in delivering quality tests and really the remedial work was maybe something that not necessarily you were keeping one eye on?
We was paid to do the test.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what the contract actually is. You're paid to do a report. And that's part of the contracts we was with anyway, but we weren't interested, or wasn't interested in creating a shopping list and remedial works. Our task was to do the report and give that to the client. And that's what we've done really well.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because it would be a temptation for some people, wouldn't it, to sort of ham it up the reports, I used to...
It has been known.
Yeah, I used to, sometimes...
You used to do it.
No, make neon tubes. If you're short of business, distribute some catapults out of the local neighbourhood. Oh, right. Suddenly you've got a lot of broken neon tubes, Gary.
This week on Confession Time. Wow, dear me. Oh, they're 2-0 now.
So there is, isn't there? So you could. That was what was happening, wasn't it, with that early Amendment 2 and the old surge the old surge on the fire alarm circuit, isn't it? With people going in, coding it to the to the letter, and suddenly, oh, you need a new consumer unit. Actually, you need a rewire old block of flats.
The local authorities were just changing consumer unit out of consumer unit, weren't they?
Yeah.
So we stepped in and we intervened there. Now, you mentioned a code of practice that's free download or whatever we mentioned earlier on. Have you put that in the link in the description?
It is in the link, yes, it is in the link.
It's the fourth one. I can't remember the title of it. Can you remember it? What is it?
I can now because I put it in, but I've forgotten it now.
Oh, right, okay, no worries. It's in the link in the description, so if you want to go over there, free download, worth downloading it. And
yes, it's the electrical safety first link. It's the electrical inspection and testing, isn't it? That's the one.
Yeah, periodic inspection, and importantly, it's industry consensus.
Yep.
So it's just example of codes of where you may want to start. It's down to the inspector where they go with that.
And that's free.
It is free, yeah.
Absolutely
It's free.
Yeah.
Absolutely free.
It's like a free book, is it?
A free book.
Oh, right, okay. Interesting. That's a free book.
Yeah, well, I think we can leap into a bit of code and get them.
Okay, yeah,
we've got something to butterfly around. Let's have a
look at some of these things here. Okay, so
nothing to see here. Move on.
Move on. Yeah, next one. Well, there's probably not a clip in the earthing conductor there. So, okay, no, we were joking.
We're joking.
As Joe moves quickly on. So 3PO, Joe 3PO. Anything in there that stares at you?
That block on the on our right there, I can see we've got the fault protection is gone. We've only got a single bit of insulation there.
Yeah, and I found that was a big problem maybe when I was working on the what was Eastman's Electricity, which changed name a couple of times. They used to leave the colours just fractionally showing.
Yes, so that was standard practice.
Yeah, standard practice. So you see red and black. You could see those. And are we allowed to do that, Darren?
Well, you're not allowed to do that. But you're looking for coding guidance on. So it does depend. If that photo comes up again of where it is.
Yeah.
Is it in an enclosure or is it on a wall?
I think that
looks like on a wall to me. I can see a bit of breeze block.
I think it's in a doored cupboard, but I'm not sure that doored cupboard is locked. Okay, so you could easily open the door. So there's no skill in order to open the door.
So we're talking a riser cupboard without a key or a lock, and an unskilled person. We'll probably be looking more towards the 2.
Okay.
On that one.
If it was in a cupboard that maybe the site staff had that key to open it, maybe they were reading meters and stuff like that, would you stick at a 2?
I'd probably move towards if it was in an enclosure. So rather than a riser cupboard, probably more an enclosure.
Okay.
And an enclosure in BS 7671 does allow basic insulation.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
We're going to come to that. And Eddie spotted the broken earth conductor at the top there, just out there, just at the top there. Ooh.
Bit of further investigation on that one, I reckon. Bit of FI.
Where's that going?
I don't know.
I'm more upset by the colour blocks.
We'll come back to the coloured blocks as well. So we've got those as well. I like those black ones in there, but I wouldn't mind a brown one, I wouldn't mind a blue one, and of course I'd love a green or a green and yellow one as well. But we'll come back to coloured blocks because I think that's something quite topical.
Give us another one, and Joe, bring one in. Let's see.
Let's have a look at the next one. So we're going with, right, okay. So I think the conductor, the neutral there on the far right, as we're looking at it, looks like some of it hasn't got itself under the clamp. Okay, so what are we going for on here? I think the enclosure's been open to get to that.
It's a Dorman Smith main switch.
Ooh, there we go, I tell you.
So really it comes down to manufacturer instructions. Can you put 2 dissimilar conductors in there?
Yeah.
I'd probably suggest not.
No.
But providing that they're adequately tight, there's no thermal damage, I'd more lean towards I'd start at a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I agree with that one. So that's a code 3. Now, do you agree with that, Joe?
I agree. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they've twisted the conductors.
No, there's no twisting or doubling. That's a fault that I've been finding. That's a C1 in my book. Anyone who doesn't twist and double, that's a different story. We'll come back to that in a short soon. Okay, moving on to the next one. Right, nothing to see here. Okay. So we're obviously inside of a stud wall, I would imagine, with a hand. So this one, on the other side of it was a light switch and inside of a cupboard. Okay, so a cupboard, again, the door can just be
accessible, like an airing cupboard or something, is it?
It's in an industrial setting. So all of these have come out of an industrial setting. The temptation, I don't know yours, Darren, is I'm so tempted to put a finger in the hole. I don't know why, I'm just drawn in. Yeah, are you the same?
Yes, you just want to put your finger in.
Yeah, you just like, I've just put a finger in, and obviously, that's mental. Yeah, okay. So, again, based on the decision, Are we going to kill ourselves there instantly?
I tell you, I'm going to have some fun around here because I'm going to put an object in the mystery hole. What's inside the mystery hole today? And what you putting your finger in it?
It takes me back when I watched Flash Gordon. They had to put the hand inside
they did,
didn't when there was something bit them or yeah. So I like the thought of being that sort of brave. Hand goes in and you wait and pulled it out.
Bring it on and look for the next in fortnight's time, next section of the show. Gary's puts his hand in a hole.
Oh yes, see how brave I am.
We'll start with a live bus bar.
So what are we going for here, Darren? What would your thoughts be there? So because you can put it in, and we don't know what's the other side of the hole, do we?
But I would start at a 2.
Yes. Okay.
If you want to raise that, because there could be some live exposed parts, then you may.
Okay. The only way to find that is by putting your finger in, isn't it?
Probably suggest taking the cover off the other side. Have a little look.
Thinking, yeah, you got this covered, didn't you? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, rather than didn't think. Okay.
Just tune in to last week's live stream for more information on electric shocks.
Okay. On to the next one. Nothing wrong with this one. Oh, felt tip pen. So yeah, I don't like felt tip pen on boards either. I would love some printed labels, maybe a Brother printer or something like that. So how do you code not using a Brother printer label machine?
Oh, that's definitely a code one, isn't it? If you can't use a Brother label machine, it shouldn't even be a Spark.
Quickly glance at it, looks like all the breakers fit the manufacturer of the board, so nothing to see here then, Joe.
That looks fine.
Merlin's your hand, isn't it? The Schneider predecessor.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Obviously not. Was that GIMP room? It's not a grind room at the top.
Well, be careful with your wording. The GIMP room, I don't think that's really, I don't think that's it. Now, there's been a little bit of gaffer tape being used there, and I don't see any problem with it. I think gaffer tape and WD-40 solve a lot of problems. If it's stuck or squeaks, you use WD-40. If it's not meant to be loose, you use gaffer tape. I think that's the rules, isn't it? That's almost just a flow chart, isn't it? Something similar to that.
There is.
But would you suggest that gaffer tape's probably there to prevent me getting into it?
I would suggest there's a little bit of an IP breach on that one.
Okay. And again, I think from where you were before, I think we're all... So you're now starting at a 2?
Starting at a
and
2.
moving to where you're you'd have to have a little bit of a look, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Did you ever buy an IPXXB finger?
No, just use my own.
Okay. Well, you can't poke it in there, though.
British standard finger. British standard finger.
Yeah, okay. You can buy an IPXXB.
You can.
Yeah. So I've never owned one myself. I'd like to see one.
Well, for just doing electrical testing.
So you wouldn't want to stick your own finger into anything?
Well, you just said you did.
No, I didn't. No, oh, yeah, that I did. But but it's voltage a bit more painful in this one, isn't it?
You would turn it off first.
Yeah, no. Surely that finger glows, didn't it? Like ET, I thought the end when it red, didn't it, when you hit the
I
live
can't
parts?
get all 6 in.
No, I can't. All 6 in. So 2 moving maybe to a 1?
I think you've got to understand where it is. It's got the door on the front. These are, I know that's a Schneider or Merlin board.
Yep.
I know inside there from experience where the live parts are.
Okay.
So you probably are more towards the 2. Some boards you might be towards the 1.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, okay. Next one. Let's see where we go to next. Okay, so yeah.
Dirty socket.
Yeah, I think if you look at the pin there on the far right, it looks like a lot of heat's been on there. I think someone's taken it out and seen some wear on heat.
Have you been watching Holmes Under the Hammer again? Have you got a screenshot from there?
It looks like Martin's been round and can add a bit of value, does he?
Is that where your air fryer was plugged in?
Oh, no.
So I mentioned it. Good idea of an air fryer. Explain the space in an air fryer, and that can save you money and time. So is it what's plugged in? Is it the socket outlet that's worn? Obviously, a little bit there for you. We're not going to see one. We're not going to die by walking towards that. So what would you be looking for there, Darren? Are you C3 in?
Start at a 3, maybe raise that to a 2.
We'll just spend a little bit more time in front of the actual enclosure. Okay, you going with that one as well?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Right, let's have a...
Mini trunking, I think it should be condemned.
Yeah, it's not even straight in the middle. That's what's doing my head. I'm thinking, come on. Okay, so this is a bit trickier for me. So obviously, I think the cover's missing, somewhere. I know the tube's definitely missing. Okay, so there's bits missing. So straight away, you could argue that could be a C1, could it? It could be a C1. I could put my hand into there.
You could do.
And I can't quite see yet. It might be some exposed live parts. Yeah, it could be C1. But could it be C3?
Well, we don't see the bigger picture on this.
No.
So we don't know how high that fitting is.
Right.
If it was like on a mezzanine, even still, I wouldn't be able to touch it. But the average person may be able to touch that. If it was, 3 meters up in the air, 6 meters up in the air, it probably wouldn't warrant a 1. it'd probably come down to a 2.
Right, you bring it down to
Your chances of direct contact with that are much less.
Yeah, again, you might have to ascertain what goes on in the area. If they're moving stuff around that you think could also strike or hit within the fitting itself, there's a lot of other things going on in there. So, yeah.
But the fitting, terminals in there, could be IP20.
They could, yeah, touch-proof and all the rest of it. We can't actually see what's happening in there.
One photo doesn't tell the whole story.
We have this ponder, we got at the gym, and the trunking covers are off everywhere in there. We ponder that every time we're doing a class there. We're looking up, how would we code that?
How would we code that, when we're in the gym?
Oh, yeah, we're just looking up there. We're not paying attention to the class.
That's why I don't go to the gym.
Yeah. You'd be distracted. You'd never get on with anything, would you? You'd be coding everything.
I found that when I was in a hospital waiting room. I got something shot into me on a piece of red hot metal that's sitting there. I was about there 7 hours. I could have told you how I think they wired every part of that building, every fuse connection unit, every sticker and label. You sit there for long enough, your brain just goes through the process they went through. Moving on to the next photo.
Well, I hope you're not in there soon, because you'd be telling about your airflow.
Well, yeah, now I can tell them all about my solar. Ooh. I think we can apply the same logic we just had there, Darren, about height and access.
Yes.
But let's imagine we can get near it.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You're not going to go home to your wife and 15 dogs.
No, 2 horses and 3 kids. Oh, look at that. So, yeah, with every bit of bad news, there's a bit of good news, isn't there? So 3-0 up, so that's fantastic. So, yeah, you think that if that was accessible, we could walk straight towards that and touch it, and that gives that a C.
You'd be between your 2 and your 1, depending on height, where it was.
Yeah. Okay.
For example.
Yeah, I think we're all good with that one. Right, next one. Have we got any more? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that, is there? Joe? What
It's a floater.
Well, saved on a fixing. Yeah. So so we're not. So let's ignore what's going on with the towers this time, because we discussed that before, Darren. Yeah. So it's not fixed to the fabric of the building. Some of my favourite words there, Gordon. You like that one, didn't you? Fabric of the building. What's that going to give you then? Because that could move. Could get knocked.
It could weaken. You're looking at it in a case. You'd definitely be starting at a 3.
Yeah.
You might move that to a 2, depending on the circumstances of where it is. It's not great, but given where it is, you might move that to a 2.
Yeah, because obviously that's when we're carrying the full load current. It's a neutral. Remember, it's carrying the same amount of current as the others. And obviously, as we're moving that around, there's some big risks there.
If it's in an enclosure, for example, you may not raise that. If it's somewhere where someone's going to hang their coat on it, for example, you probably would raise that code.
Now, people keep saying not pink, so it should be a C1.
It's not pink.
Yeah.
Not pink.
Can you get a pink?
No, can you get pink link blocks, or Henley blocks, or whatever we want to call them? No way. Okay. No way. So I'm a bit struggling here, so you're going to have to help me, Darren. Okay, so obviously, there's a little bit of branding in there that I recognise now. It's the stripes and a name. Okay, and I can see there the 2 mats are getting a 30% cut each from it. So
merch.
Pink block. Are they available?
I believe they are a limited edition.
Okay. Did you get some arrived today in the post?
I might have had.
Yeah, because I saw them before you, didn't I? Yeah. Your wife tried to show you and I took the phone off you.
I thought it was a shower screen being delivered for the ensuite, and no, it was a lovely array of terminal blocks.
Is there a reason why we might want to identify a block like that as pink if we've been very loose with our thinking?
Yes, I mean, functional connectors aren't just for Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
So the functional connector, a functional earthen conductor, as we know, is pink.
So we might want to identify.
So you might want to identify that with a pink terminal block.
Okay, that's a nice touch. It's even more nice now I know that it isn't about bravado, that actually the pink has got a great story on it. So I think every time now I see it, I'm going to nod the hat to it. But yeah, again, that they've come up, Apprentice have given you a pink block as well. And if they know the story behind it, maybe that's something also that they've done it to give you a nod for the story. So well done again.
Thank you.
Is that it for our coding ones? Oh no, okay. This is something we saw a long time ago and couldn't release any photographs of it, Gordon, could we?
No, because it would have distracted from the main.
Yeah, so we won't say where we are. Obviously, we found this a long time ago, and we highlighted it to the people that we were there with. We were there as guests, weren't we, of somebody, and they were surprised as well, Gordon, yeah?
Yeah, and we farmed this around a few places to try and get the answer. Obviously, in a lot of installations now, as we go towards heat pumps, EVs, things like that, people want higher demand, so a lot of 3-phase is becoming more prevalent in residential. And Western Power, what is now National Grid, was not the National Grid, but it's the people who now own Western Power, the same National Grid, just to confuse everybody. Their standard now is to put 3-phase into all properties. This is one that used it. It's very tight to get stuff in the meter box. So
It was a bigger meter box as well, if I remember rightly, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a bigger meter box,
Yeah.
but they still struggled.
So it's the rule of enclosures by Gordon, was it? Yeah, you always want one bigger.
Oh, you always mess it up. Yeah, you always think, wow.
So-
And this we've got an armoured cable coming in from a consumer unit that's a considerable distance away.
Yeah. So we're echoing ourselves here. We're on the telly twice. So they've had to bring. So issues now is that their plant room. They did have a mini plant room, wasn't it? We won't mention it was under the stairs because that would be wrong.
Yeah.
But it was some distance away from there. So they've used an armoured cable because of length, haven't they?
Yeah.
Now we thought a good solution with this to put one of those boots on and heat shrink that we've done videos on before. Is that right, Gordon? You still
Yes,
stand by that?
as a sort of retrofit, yeah, because people start going. This is very common in lots of new build areas. People bring an armoured cable in, and yeah, don't put anything in really to terminate it. Just leave the exposed end of the cable. It's common,
Yeah.
and obviously people get outraged.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Yeah. So, but you suggested to us that there might be some thinking behind the type of oversleeving you use, the type of boot you use, and all the rest of it. That you think that there might be a case that you can't get it up to the requirement for that protection. Is that right, Darren?
Yeah, so we're talking about double reinforced protection.
Absolutely. So it might not get there. Now, Gordon has a different conversation up, that's fine, but we'll leave it there for here. We've had that off camera. So that was a solution to a certain degree, but this has gone around a lot of people, these style of things, because it's not that we've found, the unicorn. This is happening regularly. Is there a way in which we can have our basic insulation on show like that, which can be touched, and us not be overly concerned with it, Darren?
So the guidance on this is because the meter enclosure, or meter cabinet, is classed as an enclosure.
Okay.
So we look at this with our friends at Electrical Safety First, and as well as the best practice guides, there's a Q&A on their website and professional resources. Again, that's free. So something like this, it's not brilliant. I mean, really what we should say as an industry is we should be really joining up. So we should be designing homes or installations where we don't come across that problem. That shouldn't be an engineering problem we have to solve.
Right.
But if you were doing a periodic inspection on that, the guidance really there from Electrical Safety First, which we all contribute to, is the enclosure has to be fully intact.
So the meter box, you're talking about the meter box enclosure. So how many times have you seen the door gaffer tape? Tom, we're back up again. So the door's on and in place.
In place.
The world's tiniest bit of fiberglass that holds the catch on, which is unreally small, isn't it?
The tool or
is
key.
in place. You need a
It's
tool or key
tool
to
or
open
key.
Yeah, to open it.
It's not damaged. It's in good condition, and the code in there would start at a 3.
Right. So, okay. So we can leave it effectively. We can probably say in that condition that we're okay to we'd love it to be improved.
Yes.
We're not sure Gordon's trick's going to work because you've poured scorn on that earlier on. And the engineering solution's just not going to happen to it, is it? We haven't got an engineering solution necessarily for it. So we might have to be stuck with a 3 on that one.
Yeah.
Interesting, because how long have we been chasing that down, Gordon? A couple of years?
Yeah, a long time. Yeah, as you say, has that advice been sitting there for a while? Has it sort of lurking in the cupboard?
Well, with a key, as long as you've
With a
got
lock,
it.
with it.
I think that's been on the best practice guide, the question and answers for quite a long time. And it's something, because I also sit on what we call the RAG, the Wiring Regulation Advisory Group, and that's where ourselves, the ECA and others all sit on it, and we agree sort of questions and answers, common things you might see on new installations or existing installations, and we agree codes and guidance between us. That's where you would start. If you've got reason to say that you want to go elevate that code, then you can put those reasons in, and again, it's a starting point.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we were pleased with that one.
Yeah, we'll try and dig that out so people can get a link to it. You can point to it when you find them, really, because pops up all the time. Yeah, you're right. It's not brilliant. We shouldn't be.
Yeah. But
We'll not be teaching that in college.
Yeah, well, no, not the one I went to. But yeah, the engineering solution's not there, is it? I don't think it's difficult to come up with an enclosure that armoured could have gone into. Okay, and then let's imagine we get a switch fuse there. Okay, we get a switch fuse, and we've seen this a lot of times, haven't we? Where we've got 100 amp fuse, and then we get a switch fuse, and let's say the installation also wants a bit of juice in it. Okay, so it wants as much as it can. What's your thinking there on, because it's normally selectivity people sort of talk about.
Yes.
Let's say they're the same. Let's say they're both 80. Let's make it nice and easy for Gary. They're both 80 amps, 0 selectivity. Okay, we've talked about this. What is that a problem?
If you want to achieve full selectivity, and we'll go with 100 amp fuses because I can work out that maths, then strictly speaking, if you had the 100 amp fuse from the DNO,
Yep.
they don't permit you, and it changes from DNO to DNO, to effectively protect your domestic tails longer than 3 metres.
Yep.
So they will warrant their fuse for the first 3 metres or 2.5 metres. It does change from DNO to DNO. But other than that, you've got to put your own in. If you want to achieve selectivity, if you have a 100 amp DNO fuse, you'll be looking at a 60, so a 1.6 ratio to achieve full selectivity.
Okay. Should we be bothered about the fuse, the DNO fuse?
It's not part of your installation. So
Okay.
all we have to do as designers protect our cable. So whatever cable we are installing, we need to protect that cable. We also do need to make sure that we're not going over our agreed supply capacity. So you do need to take into account what the DNO are giving you.
Yep.
They're giving you, a load, and you shouldn't exceed that. But all we need to do cable-wise is protect our cable.
Yeah, and you see it sometimes, don't you? Exactly what you said there is people say, I can't put an 80 in because they've done their own little calculations. They're now worried about their selectivity, so they don't want to drop to 60 because all of a sudden they're 40 amps short before we start. Who knows what's coming down the line? Imagine having a new installation where you're limited on an EV charger or something like that, or you could have solar and battery installed if you want in your downstairs plant room with the toilet and basin. But so we're in that position, but you shouldn't be bothered. You've just said there, strictly speaking, your installation, you could go for 80 and sleep soundly at night.
Your installation starts after the meter.
So, yeah.
So providing you're protecting your installation, your
cable.
Your cable. If you have situations where you're going to have the 100 amp DNO fuse and your 100 amp fuse on your switch fuse, you're just not going to achieve full selectivity.
I always struggle with that because I'm not bothered as long as the device operates. If it happens to be there or somewhere else in stream, I've still got that disconnection, if you know what I mean. The house is either off or off.
Yeah, we call it partial selectivity, and
Yeah.
in these cases, that's what's got to happen.
Right.
Let's be practical about this.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen in those situations.
Okay, that's good. So I think that's a great one because we've seen bits and where people have started putting like white 16mm twin and CPC cable in from a switch inside of there, and they've used the white one because obviously it's thermosetting. That causes another problem because we're at 90 degrees. Imagine we're running it hot. There's all loads of other nice little things in there, but it's that people are so transfixed about getting as many amperes as they can compared to their actual fuse when you can like for like match them. Okay, I think that's a great piece of advice, and that's a good one I'll be taking away. Yeah. Did you know that beforehand as well? It's just that you don't FI anything either.
No, that would have been a limb.
I think it's important just to realise that you're not going to get your full selectivity there, but there are so many installations out there where that cannot be achieved anyway.
Yeah, but does it matter? That one don't get, where we're taking out banks of circuits and selectivity fails. Yeah, that's it. But it's one or the other.
I think it's important to know where your installation starts.
Yeah, if your 80 didn't go and the 100 went, it's still no power. Okay, you got to make a phone call now. You've got a set of seals at home, have you? Yeah. Cut them out, whip in another one. Yeah.
No.
You put limb down again.
Or a zero-numbered crimps.
Called Pablo.
Yeah, straight in your pocket with that. That's a different story. You're probably still chasing that down, aren't you, about people being able to call out people to reseal
the safe isolation providers. Have you seen anything on that?
So there's big talk obviously about, should you be pulling the fuses or not. That is the energy distributor's job.
Yep.
They will come out and put isolation switches in, but sometime next year, I believe there will be a scheme in place where you can basically ring up or contact one of the scheme operators, and they will come out and do that isolation for you.
Brilliant. Maybe they'll put my switch back in they took out before then. Maybe I'll have them back in to put more back in.
There's a few bits of them. I am looking into that because it was supposed to start in June this year, but there's no one on the list. And the energy provider is supposed to make it really easy on their website to find out, to contact them to start that process.
Right.
It's almost impossible.
Okay. That sounds like the government have got it in.
Watch this space.
Yeah. No, it'd be good to see when that kicks
Importantly,
in.
it's going to be there to help contractors.
Yeah.
And it's going to clarify that area where no one's willing to speak about.
You're not allowed to pull them. You clearly said your stuff starts after the meter,
does.
and it's not yours to touch.
I mean, it's all to do with health and safety and who owns the equipment.
Yep.
And that's really where it's come in as well. And who, you know, who's making the assessment on is it safe to isolate? Because, you know, sometimes you go into these meter cabinets and they're in great condition. Sometimes you go into these meter cabinets and they're in terrible condition. And I always said earlier is, you know, work safe, home safe. And that's what we want at the end of the day.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Just decided Rick's back from his cookery class.
Is he? What's time?
There you go.
It's
He's
only
just
half.
back in there. Yeah, he's just got in. He's in the comments. He's just got back in. Hopefully, we'll be bringing some leftovers in for us to try tomorrow, Gary.
I can't wait because obviously you reckon he's on some fish dishes. I'd like to see how thin he can get his pasta. I want pasta that dissolves in your mouth. So yeah.
With a velouté sauce or something.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice.
Or a foam.
Wow, yeah, some sort of foam. I like that. Yeah, a little sprayed in there. But most of the food I've ever seen Rick in his hand dissolves in his mouth
rather quickly.
First time today, didn't eat all his pasta. Didn't like
What?
it. No, we had honey and mustard pasta with chicken. I didn't take any photographs of him. I've let him off for a while. But he didn't eat it all.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully the Italian way was sorted out there.
Yeah. But,
Any great questions coming in? We've got a question for the audience, haven't we? So we want to give our audience question out. Should we do that now while you're looking at the questions from our audience?
Yes.
So we've got to ask the audience question. So this is our version of another game show that we've borrowed from. So how many questions out of 20 did OG Joe, so that's the original one, so that's Joe Robinson, okay, get right when completing the Safe for September Safe Isolation? Remember, it's not just for September. We are massive behind that campaign, as is the ECA and as is Electrical Safety First, as is the great Eddie Clements as well. So we're all behind that campaign. And obviously Joe had to show his certificate. So you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Do you remember doing that, Joe?
I do.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Okay, so get it in. How many do you think he got right out of 20? So if you put those in the comments, so we're going for, I think you have to get more than 14 to pass, I think. So is it 14?
15?
15, is it?
Sometimes messes around there. So.
Yeah, dear, in order to pass. So again, it's available for everyone. How do we find our CPDs now? Where should we go to land on our CPD page?
It's learning.efix.co.uk.
Okay, if you go onto eFIXX.co.uk and scroll down, it's a massive banner in the middle of the page, isn't it?
Yeah.
In order to get your free CPDs. We're putting them in every month. And that segues me nicely to you, young man. You've been busy squirreling away on a CPD for us, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Well, moving on. So what was your CPD about? Okay, so it's a collection of videos now, builds in for one CPD, but you have to watch about 5 videos, is that right?
Yes, so what was great with this, because Lasica got right behind this, and there's no product in there or anything like that. They were just really passionate about us doing this for industry. So yeah, between myself and OG Joe, we were looking at kind of access to site, we're working at heights, asbestos confined spaces, and the one, which I've done around mental health as well, and mental health in industry, which is something I'm really passionate into. Yeah, and
it's a tough one as well. I mean, mental health. Am I right in believing that? Hopefully, I'm not right, but I believe it's the largest contributor to death in the construction industry is probably somebody taking their own life. Is that right?
It is. So the statistics are horrifying, but on average, 2 people are committing suicide every working week as a result of mental health issues. That's both men and women, but the problem is a lot more prevalent in kind of males. I think it's with this kind of, man up kind of, persona that we have out there. But, when we think about all the pressures that we now have, certainly after COVID, cost of materials, and, it's great to talk and to access the support that's out there, and to talk to your colleagues as well. Could be anybody. And that next conversation could be the one that potentially saves their life. So.
Yeah, and I know we're asking people to do something there, because obviously I asked him to do a CPD, and maybe they'll see some of the traits in themselves. Yeah, maybe they'll, if you're thinking about working at heights, maybe they'll leave the harness in the back of the van because it's a little bit encumbersome, it's awkward to get it over your shoulder. But again, may just reiterate to them that that's the good thing to do, and slipping off a roof might not be a great idea any more than coming in contact with asbestos. And again, I know when I used it at college, those names are quite difficult, aren't they? Blue, white and brown, in order to remember the different types of asbestos. And you do pronounce them really well in the video as well. So
crocodolite, chrysotile and amosite, I think.
Blue, white and brown.
Blue, white and brown. But they're all equally as dangerous. It was trying to squash this myth that, I think it was blue was always the really dangerous one. But all asbestos, or any dispersal of asbestos, is dangerous.
And again, just having a refresh, if you haven't done it since you're probably at college, okay, I don't remember ever having asbestos training. It might be different now, obviously I'm out of the tools a long time, but asbestos training and refresh to you. Again, you might change, you might start working for yourself, and all of a sudden you're responsible for one or two other people, as we like to call them, shareholders in our business, the Mats. So yeah, you've got that responsibility, but to be able to identify the common locations you'd find asbestos, just, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, Artex from that date. Oh yeah, soffit boards. Yeah, those type of things, heating pipes and all the rest of it. Yeah, I don't think we're necessarily going to see it as perhaps whole roof lagging anymore, are we, in powder form and all the rest of it, or pellet form.
It does come up, yes.
It does, but yeah, it's not as common as the lagging one tends to get left, and soffit boards tend to get left. Artex from whatever.
Floor tiles.
Yeah.
Electrical cupboard doors, all sorts of.
Fuse carriers.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah. So so great. So can I access at CPD by the link?
I've put the link in. I've put the link in the chat.
Yeah.
So
in the chat as well.
I've put it in the chat as well.
Definitely worth one to put in your list of stuff to do. I think if you're updating your knowledge, I think the knowledge that may save your life is equally as important of understanding which type of RCDs you can or can't install against certain loads. So massive thanks to the Seco Group, yourself and OG Joe for putting that together.
Well, let's just have a look. So most of the numbers are in for the thing. I mean, some people think Joe might have got 20 out of 20. The lowest one was 14, which would have been a fail. So
yeah, good. 14 you got.
Yeah, 14. That's it.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
he had
Joe.
3 14s he got.
He did actually get. Bring it, Joe.
Bring in his certificate.
As you'd expect.
Yeah, he scraped through.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was...
Which you'd expect, because he writes the paper.
Yeah, he writes the questions. Yeah, if he don't get them all right, then we're in a world of trouble. But it does help you validate whether you put, because you always occasionally put your correct answer in the wrong place, don't you? So,
because what people don't realise, Gary, is that we actually, every time people take those tests, the answers change in order.
Yes, yeah, rotate the order around. Yeah.
You think you'll quickly whiz in and have another go at it? That was, you would.
Wrote them all down. I went A, C, C, D. Yeah, it's a completely different order. That's great. So the training hub available through eFIXX.co.uk, eFIXX Training Central. Go on, give me the address again, because I always get it wrong.
It's training.efixx.co.uk.
Okay, yeah, we got it on there. All our CPDs will eventually appear in there, so you can still get them on the know-how tab.
Yeah, but we're moving them over. The good thing about the new platform is you can keep your certificates forever in there. You can log back in, and it's dead easy to print them out.
Yeah.
And people sometimes like to print things out still, Gary.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on that. And again, a word of warning, if you work for a company with a company email address, or you're a learner with a college email address, if you're going through Training Central, I recommend you use an email address that's unique to you, your own personal one, because if you move college or you change employer, okay, and you have to leave behind their email address, you'll actually close off access for your portal. So that's worth bearing in mind as well. That's good. Right, anything else in the popular chat then? So
well, no, I think people are looking, where's the tool from above, Gary? We haven't had a tool from above yet.
We are going to do tool from above, and it's for the first time ever, we almost can stand up for this one. Darren, if you can't see it, it is way above your head. I'll bring in hand cam so you can look up there, and it's way above. Oh, hang on. I've had a disaster. It's way above your head up there. Okay, and you are standing at the moment, so we can see that. It would be a great. We're going to have to drop to our knees, Darren. If you think it's been embarrassing today, this is going to just about put the cap on it. So if I put the camera down, or give it to Joe there. So. Nice shoes they are. How do you get a pair of shoes like that? Is that a special order, or is that... You're going to stand on that?
So, I'm going to sit on that.
So how do I get a pair of these? And if I want to go all pink, were these special?
Yeah, my wife bought these for me. I can't remember where they come from. Something like Urban.
Her drawer?
Her drawer. No.
They are nice, isn't it? Look at them bad boys.
I think it says inside where they're from. Hang on. Here we are.
I don't know. Where are they from? I can't see it. So
Irregular choice?
Irregular choice.
Well, there we go. We'll get you a pair ordered straight away, Gary.
Yeah, I'll get a pair
What
of them
colour would you
back,
like?
Oh yeah, I'll go full pink. I'm not bothered.
You got full pink?
Yeah, full
There we
pink
go.
on those. Right, okay, so we're going to summon down, because Rick's not here, but we've got a tool that we're going to review today, and you'll get the final decision where it goes on the tool. In order to bring it down, we need to use the following call sign, which is tool. Okay, so yeah, dignity's in the bin. Yeah, okay.
Not dog.
No. Tool. No, you got 2 dogs, 1 coming. So here we go then. Ready, Darren? And 3. 1, 2, 3. Tool. Oh, that's the first time we've gone early. We've gone twice as well. I like it. So you still couldn't get there if you were standing up. So let's go again. Tool. Hold on. Right, see what's in the bag. So there's 2 items in there. There's probably the tool itself and something to display on the tool wall. So if we take those out, yeah, danger, further investigation required. So we've got the Brocket set there. So let's have a quick look at that while we go back up. So this is from Armeg. We've reviewed it a few times on the channel. We'll show a short video in a minute as well so everyone can have a little look at it. So in here we've got our own little socket and Brocket, and we've got the 20 and 25 mil. So that's for bushes. So that's a 25 mil bush that we'd use on our conduit systems. Have you got a set of these yourself, Darren?
I do own a set of these. When they first came out, I thought they're absolutely brilliant.
And you say they're absolutely brilliant, so you've got a lot of use out of your set then. So how many times have you actually had them out in the field?
None.
None. So you've got a set in your toolbox, and they're not. You had the original set, and you got them off the original owner, didn't you? So he's licensed them now to Brocket, Adrian. They were a few pennies as well back in the day, and you've just kept them in that lovely toolbox for looking at.
My lads used them at the time. They absolutely raved about them.
The 30% shareholders in your business, the mats, yes? Right, we've got there, so we're going to leave it to our audience to start with. So if we go and ask our audience whether we think it's great or a gimmick, so we're going to bring in the
We're going to bring the little short first.
So take a seat,
Obviously, it can't be too good.
Okay, so they've got 60 seconds, so we bring our short in. Oh, okay.
All right.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fine.
So look,
Okay, so no words.
Brocket in action. This isn't the Brocket in action.
No, so this is part of the system that we did. We've got Rick's cardboard, we've got Rick's level, so here's the Brocket set, and we're actually using it now for the whole saw element of it, which they come with a 20 and 25 mil. Okay, and this is part of a lighting installation with, look at that switch. That is a beautiful switch, Gordon.
Yep, still available actually. You can still get them.
Yeah, so
that really industrial look.
yeah, absolutely. So we're going to put in a piece of conduit and order that we can start this process. I think this is part of 3 videos. Look at that. You don't need an expensive gauge, do you, when your phone's already it? So conduit, so a little bit of threading. This is our Met Pro conduit with a whole series on conduit. I recommend you check them out. We've done shorts like this, and we've also done long formatted videos with the Conduit King, which is Jake Hardcastle. We love these saddles from Met Pro as well. So they're quick, rapid saddles, and you see how rapid Rick is. And now here comes the Brocket. What a beautiful piece of equipment that Armeg can give you there in order that you can get into some tight space and get those bushes nice and tight. And everybody likes a firmly positioned brass bush. Okay, so that's all good.
I think everyone thinks it's great.
Yeah, I think Eddie's got like a one-off set. I think.
Oh, he gives it a high 10 plus.
Oh, does he? Yeah. He's got. But I mean,
You're going to need to get the ladders out.
They've mugged you off again, haven't they? So let's just for those people who don't know. So if Joe joins me over here, we'll see how this one works out. So Joe, we're going to look at our wall. So if it was down there with the Makita coffee machine, which, yeah, I'll use the Crannis in order to get up there.
Keep that out.
Wow. Okay, so this is where we have, yeah, right at the bottom. So nobody wants one of these. What this does, it drains your battery. Doesn't make 2 cups of coffee in 15 minutes. So if you have a 15-minute coffee break, you can't use that bit of kit to make 2 cups of coffee. Here's our wall then, Darren, so let's explain how it works. It goes to 11, which a lot of people are suggesting that you're going to have a world of trouble. I've left the Crannis down here for you. It would be right up in this top right-hand corner, so we thought the spit nail gun, when they did it, whoever was in on that week, can't remember who did that, they thought that was brilliant. The midsection here is your strong 7s and 8s, obviously, as we get down here, we're more at a 6. Right down there is an absolute gimmick. Right up there is it's the absolute nuts. I would suggest in this case this can tighten and loosen them. Okay, so we've got the Brocket. I'll leave it to you to have the final decision, but the audience think it's pretty good, do they?
Yeah. It's all it's all great. It's all over the place.
So there might be small limiting factors on this.
Yeah.
Matt Partridge, one of the shareholders of the business? He says thanks
Yes.
for his one.
I'm going to put it just there.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So Matt's got 30% of the business, is that right? That's good. So the wife still owns 40. So it's good. And it's nice to get people involved. You know, we've got a bit of skin in the game. You're going to try a bit harder, aren't you? So, yeah, it's fantastic. So, good product. We think it's a great product, don't we? Ahmed took the licensing on that from Adrian. We met Adrian down in Portsmouth, a couple of years ago? Gordon, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years
Oh,
ago.
no, it's great, yeah.
Yeah.
You see him at shows all the time. So it's just
Great product.
Yeah.
Simple. Is that classic? You know, everyone thinks they could have invented it, don't they? Have you seen them before? Have you?
No.
Have a, have a play with my Brocket.
A Brocket.
Okay.
No, I used to have an old bush spanner. That was. Look
There
at
you go.
that.
Yeah, it is a neat design, and I like it. It's in a pouch effectively as well.
Well, anything you like. You had that, anything comes in some sort of display box.
Oh yeah, just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is good. So we've gone. We get out. What's that? Got about a 9, has it? 9 out of 10. Yeah. I think that's as far as you could push it physically on the wall. So it was a 12, but nobody can get there. So that's all good. So that gives us that. So that, again, that's a good short video that we produced some time ago on that one then. So Gordon, where do you want to take us now?
Well, I think actually the two Jaws got up to. Obviously, you went to Screwfix Live. Looked like I had a great time there. But yeah, went to one with Lasico for the 30 under 30 awards, Gary.
Okay. What's this?
This is what happened.
A couple of kids at a fairground, it looks like to me. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
So you've got to look at what they're actually reading on that log flip.
Oh, hang on. Whoa. I saw an arm there. I saw an arm round him. Is it no petting on the rides? I thought I saw on the sign on the way in. What was that all about?
It's the seagull. Come for me. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, you were checking it and left any messages behind.
So
Okay.
you were doing some research on special locations, is that right?
That's right. Yes. 740.
Yeah.
We were looking in.
Yeah.
We did get wet.
Okay. It did rain as well. So I think we got a photograph of the wonderful couple. That looks couple-ish in the front there. You have clearly got an arm round it. So we'd like you to perhaps caption this for us.
put a
So if you're
caption,
watching this, not you, Joe, you can leave your caption until you get back. But the people watching the stream and are still on, can you please give this a caption? Maybe my one's in as the no petting on the rides. So Gordon, you've got one in there.
Let's bring that picture back in there,
So,
Joe. Let's have a look.
Yeah, you can see why no one would sit near him.
I'm that guy at the back, actually. He's saying who's those two jokers in the front. This isn't that special location. Wrong section.
I think it's Brokeback Drayton Manor, is it?
Brokeback Drayton Manor. A little bit of undertone now. I like it. I tried to drift there, but left it. Yeah, we went full Brokeback.
I think what was hilarious was Joe told the ride attendant that it was his emotional support book. So we could get it on there.
Looks like you were getting some emotional support there with that arm, weren't you? Okay, brilliant. So if you can put a caption on that, if we get a chance, there'll be no prize. If there was a prize, you wouldn't get it anyhow. Okay, so talking of no prizes, at some point we will reveal the fastest time on the actual race wall, won't we? So we'll see who got that time. And who won't be
We
receiving
can
a prize
pop over there now and let's
Shall we?
do a register.
I was trying to give him a bit of time because I didn't feel he was ready. So he's there. So Joe, over in the post room. Okay, nice to see
So
you in the post
luckily
room.
I had enough time to put on the mic and whatnot. So yeah, it's time for the register. So welcome, thank you for joining us. Thanks for staying on this long. It is a very long one tonight. So yeah, Newcastle are winning. That's all that really matters. So yeah, let's start the register. So we've got Sergio Fernandez, we've got XRP Boss, we've got Sean Dempsey, we've got Griff Thomas, we've got Mark the Sparky Allison, we've got Shahid Khan, we've got Ollie S, Sean the Spark, Crannis Technology, Carl Robson, Andrew Watson. We've got Mr. Cameron, we've got Kevin Osborne, Chris Osmond the Sparky, Gavin Geaney, A-Spark1, Sockets, Retro Z Machine, Leigh Winspear, Dave Noble, Marky D, Azuri Electrical, Richard Cockerline, Leigh Winspear, Matt Partridge, Pegasus Electrical and Control, Mike Hunt, I think that's a joke one there, something, Black Dragon SP, yeah, Neil Bidger and Stephen Skillen, Princess Spark, Abdul Seaforth, PDKH, Ryan Bennett, Danilo Ace, Roger Brookfield, RJ, Robert Butler and Chris Horn. And we've got two more actually, Intruserve and the final one, we'll find him here. You thought we missed him out, it is eFIXX Rick.
Oh, he's on as well. He's back from the pasta class. Okay, so yeah, really good. I'd imagine it's more
Do you
people
have RLF vacuum cleaners Lakenheath on there?
We do miss them sometimes. So if you have put stuff in and you've been missed out on it, it's just because the series have run through really quick. So if you go early with a comment, sometimes it does get missed. So we do apologise if you've commented, okay, that you didn't quite get in on the shout out on the register. All I would say is try again next time. We have got a new set of end credits, which we said, we're not there yet, but we said we were going to debut them last time and we froze with a minute to go, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Yeah,
Always
so
our technology. Our software platform had an update, and when they do an update, there's always a bug in there.
Yeah, and we happen to
we always find them. Yeah,
yeah.
Ring up the day after and go, yeah, there's a problem.
And they've actually updated again, so hopefully the bug has been solved. So it's all good. All right. Gordon.
I think we're nearly there. Yeah. Prize winners.
Yeah.
Just a prize.
So if we can see who's won, who's not going to receive a prize in the next fortnight.
Back to I've managed to suppress my laughter for now. So the prize. So Darren's time was 3 minutes 51. So well done, Darren, for that time.
Yay!
And the winner is Matt Partridge with 3 minutes 56, so 4 seconds off there.
Oh, work with him.
You won a prize.
That's the Matt.
I could personally deliver that to him.
I'd just like to say, your 30% of the business is a prize in itself. And I can't say any more than that. The two Matts get 30% each. And Darren and his wife are going to keep 40. Obviously, the full 40% is Darren's wife. He doesn't get anything. So not only today, you've got yourself a third dog, but you've also give a little bit back to the electrical industry, not just in what your knowledge is, but absolutely in your generosity as well, which is a lovely touch. And we'd like to say, thank you. We saw some great people in the Indian restaurant today, didn't we?
Yes.
We saw them. They're on our Instagram page. We did a live. There was a couple of younger lads in there, weren't there, with their parents. They turned up the Wednesday before and expected us to be in there, so they had to then come in again this Wednesday, and we had them on that little live stream. If you haven't seen it, it's worth having a look. They were pretty excited to join us as well. And so that was pretty good as well. So we got back again, haven't we?
Oh, gee, Joe, will you read to me? It's one of my favourite ones on the on the caption competition. Caption competition, Gary.
Will you read? Sorry, yeah. Will you read to me? Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, we've got Eddie on there. FI or C2. Use the tool from above or a key. Tell me a great electrical joke. I thought you were.
Book behind you. Your book's behind you if you need it.
It's caption code.
Oh, tell me. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Is he your friend?
Sorry. When it gets dark nowadays, I get all a bit twitchy because there's no sunlight out, and I like sunlight because it charges my battery so I can run my house on it. Did I mention I've got solar battery? Yeah, this weather is awful for it, and an air fryer. Yeah, I've got an air fryer as well.
JJ's special location.
Oh, there you go. A couple of specials. Yeah. Any others? So we won't be sending a prize out to any of those either.
I'm just looking at it. That's the fastest you've been seen to work, actually. Matt Partridge there, former shareholder of
equity stakeholder in business. Who's now trying to sell his shares. Yeah, okay. Check the small print. Okay, brilliant. Okay, we really do appreciate having great guests, and I think, Darren, you've been absolutely right up there on the list. And of course, you're above 4 minutes, so you're under 4 minutes. So if we look at there, you're above Bridgman, which is absolutely outrageous there at 4:05. You've got bragging rights at the rugby. You haven't got the right to square up to him at any point because obviously you lit his nipples at best, okay, as you go towards him. So fantastic on the race. Well, your knowledge is exceptional. We'd like to think you'll come back on the show again. Okay, we'd like to have you back again, maybe tomorrow if you fancy doing a bit. Yeah, sounds good. So, yeah, it's all good. But no, thank you. And you've been a terrific guest. However, we couldn't do this show without the great support of the people that sponsor us to come out to you every fortnight. And those people that are supporting our lead sponsor of this, okay, supporting the show, is a Lasico Group. Fantastic Lasico lighting. We had them on last time, as well as BG Sync EV and the BG brand under the Lasico Group, who support the 30 under 30 that we saw today as well, who do loads for industry in the form of CPDs, that they get no product involved in it. They just wanted to help us out on things such as mental health. And we'd like to think that maybe next year it'd be not necessarily safe for September, but just an overall branch in stuff that people will refocus on safety for September, of which we think we've added asbestos, working in confined spaces and things like that too, as well as mental health, which is dear to the hearts of obviously some of the people within here, and made a fantastic job of that video. We'd like to thank Luden Palazzoli. They're They're the something in Essex. I can never remember.
Italy of East Essex, based in Braintree there. That lovely location.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the vineyards down there are unbelievable. The olive growing, as well as Doncaster Cables, the people that bring us things such as PV Ultra that was installed on my solar job. I've just recently had solar battery done. I was the first person in the UK to have the PV Ultra cable installed. Now, it might be that I didn't get the first video out there. My video is out on eFIXX Energy. If you want to check out my installation and what I've got there, and that'll be a monthly series. Hopefully you'll see me progress through this journey as I go into these dark...
You'll experience the dark months that we experience every day when he turns up to tell us about his solar installation.
Absolutely. As well as EV Ultra, so it's part of the Ultra family, okay, for those cables as well. Joe, thank you ever so much for joining us. You weren't aware you were going to come on the show tonight. You thought you were watching from afar.
I did, yes. It's
naivety, eh?
Naivety. Shock. Thanks for that.
So I got found out today I'm doing a speaking session at Sparkington Live next week, and I only got told that today as well. So it's exciting working here at eFIXX. So,
yeah, and coming up in 2 weeks' time on the show, we have got Luden Palazzoli here again. Giovanni is coming back, the fastest Italian on the leaderboard.
Yes.
But obviously, he will need somebody to have a go at the challenge. We've got Carl from KDM Electrical, who was the winner of the eFIXX Residential Installer of the Year. Yeah. And if you haven't seen Carl's work, you will do next time, but it's the neatest first fix work in a residential we've ever seen. This is like precision stuff. Yeah. So you'd be embarrassed of your own work once you've seen what they're turning out. So we're going to meet Carl, get his motivation behind that work, behind what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, and people have mentioned we might delve into the world of AFDDs since we're back on a bit of residential. I think there's a few videos kicking around on AFDDs at the minute. Yeah, I'm happy to go back there again, and we'll be bringing it up at Oldfields. It's one of the questions I've got on my Q&A session that I'm doing down at Oldfields on Friday. You're doing a different kind of session with you're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, nice and early. We're going to be down there. Have to get making that presentation. If you've got to the end, or you're watching this on catch up and you get to the end, thank you ever so much. I think it's the end yet, Gary. I think we've got to award another eFIXX Awards winner, Burgess Electrical Services. You visited this week. Oh yeah, we have. Yes. Crack on with the awards. Well done. Thank you for reminding us. It's my absolute pleasure to be down in Aylesbury to present the Apprentice Employer of the Year Award to Burgess Electrical Services. And it's my good friend Craig going to take the award off my hands for it. So there you go. First of all, thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations. And that was in association with Doncaster Cables, our good friends there. Now, when we're talking about taking on apprentices, it's actually the foundation of Burgess Electrical itself, isn't it? The apprentices. Yeah. Can you just talk me through how the business started up? Johnny himself started running the business about 7 or 8 years ago now, and he had himself and 2 apprentices that come with him. Right. Those apprentices have then been developed through the company, and now one is running the head of projects and looks after all of our project managers, and the other one is now a project manager in the company as well. So the whole ethos of the business has been about use apprentices, develop them through, give them the skills, and then nurture them within the company to keep them growing and keep them moving forwards as well, which helps us grow as a business at the same time. That's wonderful to hear, isn't it? Those original founding people that took the leap really to do Burgess Electrical Services are actually now in the office directing other people. And when we're saying directing other people, you've got 4 or 5 apprentices on this year at the moment on the books as well. Yeah, we always have a sort of steady stream of about 4 or 5 apprentices and just keep them rolling and keep working with them. And then most of them end up staying, whether that's employed or subcontracting with us, they end up staying with the company, which is a good position to be in because we're genuinely developing them the way that we would like the work to be done that we are working with. Nice bit of flexibility there. People might say, oh, gone subcontracting. Actually, that gives the person that's been trained through the business a little bit more flexibility where they want to go and work, and obviously they can maybe demand slightly more on a salary basis as well. As we're thinking about this business and we're thinking about it being built on apprentices, roughly how many apprentices are in the workforce? We've currently got probably around 15 of our staff that have been apprentices or trained at one point or another that are still involved in the company and the business now. And I think Burgess Electrical Services is a great example of if you invest in people during their apprenticeship and you give them the best possible apprenticeship, they will stay and they will help grow your business. Craig, it's an absolute pleasure and congratulations on winning that award. Thank you. Yeah, considering I got up in the van at 5:05 in the morning to go all the way to St Albans before I come up here, can't believe I nearly missed that, and that was a great way of getting out. We haven't got to every single award winner, have we, from the eFIXX Awards, and again, they'll be opened up, and we'll let you know on the live stream how do you win an award? We have to enter, Gary, and we'll go into that in a couple of weeks when we open that up. So yeah. So I never win awards because I never enter them. Yes. Okay. So Burgess Electrical. That's one reason. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to leave on that now, are we, surely? Burgess Electrical, fantastic, looking after apprentices, something dear to our heart as well. So, Apprentice Employer of the Year. Okay, great story, built a company. I'm not sure yourself, you took your two 30% equity holders that are on the live stream tonight in as an apprentice and then gave them a part of the business, which is a nice touch, Darren. So thank you ever so much if you've managed to get to the end of the stream.
It's been a bit of an epic, nearly 2 hours. So there we go, and it's flown by. Newcastle win.
Everything's good.
Be full time, is it?
We'd like to thank you if you've followed us on Facebook. Okay, we're over there streaming as well as we are here on YouTube. Depending on which one you're watching on, we're on one or the other. We'd like to thank you for giving us your time. We hope we can show you now the actual end credits that we should have shown you last time. There is some new names in there, but yours isn't on it yet. Okay, we're edging our bets, I think.
Letting you down, Joe, gently. Yeah.
Roll the credits.